BK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona women's basketball went into Tempe last night. It looked like they might just steal a win.
Sugapong cutting toward the corner. She's allowed to get that in and then bring it over the stripe where she's picked up by Elliott. Slip the screen with Francois. Go quickly outside. Gerardo's going to shoot a three-pointer that rattles in. Another ICCU charity three. And it's tied up at 6. As they're coming around to Magat. Screen, get that to Cornfield on the cut. She's able to take it at the left block and score with the right hand. Trim it to 3. Francois' screen sends her to the right side. Eventually give way. Ladwig who has the ball poked away by Levette. She's going to go end-to-end, and Arizona State has its largest lead. And Cornfield trying to get a little bit of separation from Poa. Going side to side, now back to the right side. Get this one along the baseline where there's a nice cut from Somea, who's got the catch and finish underneath. Looks like she thought she might have been fouled, as instead she makes it a 1-point game. The Cats have struck on their first 3 shots, or their last 3 shots, now 3 for 4. And it made it a 1-point game with ASU 0 for its first 3. Tries to kick it back out. Inertia takes it over to Carrera, who hands it off to Brackens, who puts a three-pointer up. It's not good, but there's Carrera with the offensive rebound. 22 seconds left. Doesn't look like the Wildcats are fouling. Go to the 4-minute and 38-second mark. And Arizona State had been called for in the third quarter, had been called for 10 personal fouls. The Wildcats likewise had been called for 10. 5 more whistled on the Cats over the next time period as ASU gets the 68-61 win.
Yeah, it's Wildcats in that third quarter came out just blitzing. I mean, absolutely blitzing. At the beginning of that third quarter, they went in at the break down 7 at the break. And then they came out. Samaya Sugapong, hot. Nolani Cornfield, hot. Cameron Kitchen at the end with a 3. 13-zip run to start the third quarter, flipping a 7-point deficit into a 6-point advantage and led by as many as 8 as they just were playing as good a basketball as they've played all season long to start that third quarter. But again, as you heard Derek say, and even Molly Miller, the women's basketball coach at Arizona State, said after the game, the whistles started becoming a little bit more plentiful in that second half, and in particular in that fourth quarter, and more whistles went against the Arizona Wildcats and the Sun Devils just had a little bit more resolve, got a little bit more from their star, or one of their stars anyway, Gabby Elliott, and they win it 68-61 over U of A, the first ever meeting between Becky Burke and Molly Miller. First time, and we mentioned yesterday on the show, Arizona had beaten Arizona State in women's basketball 7 consecutive times and had won 10 of the last 12. So this was a recent rivalry that the Wildcats under Adia Barnes had dominated. But it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. 2 exciting young coaches. And like I said yesterday, to me right now, and they'll be stars again. I don't know that there's any, quote, stars right now. I mean, even Gabby Elliott is a grad transfer, so that's not someone who's going to be hanging around in this rivalry very long. But for right now, the stars of this rivalry are the 2 head coaches, Molly Miller and Becky Burke. And Molly Miller gets the first salvo in the rivalry between those 2. They'll do it again here in Tucson later in the season. They had over 6,000 come out last night for that game. Great crowd at the Desert Financial Spaceship in Tempe. So hopefully you can turn McHale into a home field or home court advantage for your ladies on Valentine's morning when the Sun Devils come to town. That's an 11 a.m. start for the second half of the Women's Territorial Cup Series on February the 14th. The men, as we continue into No Forks Week, will duke it out for a second time this Saturday up at the Desert Financial Spaceship in Tempe. And it was a tight one the first time around. I mean, again, you got the young guy, Jop, big man. He was impressive. Very impressive. You got the veteran guard, Maurice Odom. Equally impressive as well. Now, things have not gone well for that team as a whole since that game. They haven't been able to parlay that pretty good performance against the number one team in the country into much of anything. Although they finally did get off the schneid. But it's never easy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good or how bad Arizona State is in men's basketball. It's never easy to go in there and get a win. So it's not going to be a cakewalk this Saturday. Just because you knocked off and went into Provo and beat a really good BYU team by 3 points on their home court doesn't mean anything come this Saturday if you don't show up as the number one team in the country and handle business against an Arizona State team that's 2-6. Were you there last night? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. If you were there last night in Tempe for the women's game, are you going to be there Saturday? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 if you are going up for the men's game on Saturday. Want to hear from you. Territorial Cup Series week. No forks allowed as the Wildcats and the Sun Devils duke it out on the hardwood. J.W. Madden joins me today. JW, your thoughts? I said yesterday, to me right now, because there aren't, quote, any All-Americans, there aren't any, quote, I don't even know if there are any Big 12, all Big 12 players on either of these women's basketball teams right now. So the stars of the show right now are Molly Miller and Becky Burke.
Yeah, I think that's to be expected when you have, regardless of the pedigree coming in, we all talked about, Molly and her shine and where she was going and her star was rising. We've been talking about that for the last couple of years. When you come in and inherit a Power 4 conference team, DK, with a short cycle and the NIL and the transfer portal, especially for Coach Burke, in a short window to try to fill this roster, famously with no returning stats from last year's team, I don't think you're going to be able to convince a lot of players in such a short period of time who have those marquee names you're talking about to come and join a program that doesn't necessarily have an identity yet. So sometimes it takes a minute or two for those coaches to install their culture and what it is they're trying to do before you might see some transfer interest from players that are in that Big 12 all-conference conversation. So I have no doubt both coaches long-term will be very successful in what they do. Both say all the right things. Both philosophies are clearly ones that can win at this level. Having the star power, DK, to be able to manipulate defenses, especially, or a defensive stalwart to protect the rim type of thing, is going to come in time. And I have no doubt both programs are on a trajectory to be very successful, compete for Big 12 titles. It's just not going to be in such a short-term period, having just taken over their programs.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
By the way, last night's game, Arizona was playing great. The issue was the last 2.5 minutes of the game, they didn't get much done offensively. So it was a 1-point game. Those last 2 minutes, they had 3 empty possessions. If that changes around, if any of those are buckets and or they turn ASU over, the ending might be a little bit different. Fouls being what it was, I think it was 8-2. ASU was called for 2 fouls in that fourth quarter, Arizona 8. But again, if you just don't have empty possessions down the stretch of games, then you can have a one possession game going into the final, minute of the game, and it's a completely different scenario.
Absolutely. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Give us a call, give us a text, chime in on our app. Download the app, Wildcats Radio 1290 app. You can interact with the show and our station through the app. All right, let's get our...
I do have a bonus from Derek Palmer, and it's the best play-by-play he's ever done in his entire life, but we'll save that for later in the show.
Okay, yeah, we'll hear that coming up a little bit later in the show. Halftime is always exciting at some of these college basketball games. All right, we're going to talk Arizona State men's basketball. Coming up, we're going to chat with the man that calls the games for the Sun Devils. I don't know if we ever had Tim Healy on the show. This will be a first. Looking forward to chatting with Mr. Healy on the show, the voice of the Sun Devils. We'll find out what's going on up in Hurley Land from Mr. Healy. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Clones, listen up. Not all beef jerky is the same. In fact, there are major differences in quality from one brand to the next. Old Trapper is a better way to snack, chock full of good protein to satisfy your manliest hunger cravings. Every bite is better for you and higher in essential protein than chips, sugar-filled energy bars, and candy. Old Trapper in the Clearview bag is the world's finest jerky, made with only the best ingredients. So ask for Old Trapper by name because no other jerky compares. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Revitalize your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select vanities and free delivery during our bath savings event. Plus, get up to 40% off select shower heads. No matter what style you're looking for, we've got you covered. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
The big game is almost here, and there is no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks. Who do you think will have a big day? Set your top picks and turn your knowledge into cash with Prize Picks. You'll get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. It's simple. Just pick 2 to 6 players, pick more or less on their stat projections, and submit your lineup. They also have early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game even finishes. Join millions of users on America's #1 sports picks app. Get in the game with Prize Picks, now available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROAM and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROAM on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you get the $50 credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-269-3394. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collision Bear Canyon near Snyder on Bear Canyon to the south of Snyder Road. Also some slowdowns, Irvington and Palo Verde. There's road work at that intersection. Travel is picking up for westbound Ahaway approaching Mission Road. 42 the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu has 10 indulgencies for $3 or less. From the opulent new mini taco salad to the decadent beefy potato loaded griller. That much Luxe could have you expecting a maitre d' at the drive-thru. At participating Taco Bells, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
As Steele Venters with a three, missed it. Rebounded by Trevor Best. Ahead to Pig Johnson. He fires to Jop. The alley-oop slam dunk. And the finish by Masamba Jop. And the Sun Devils lead it 15-9. And that brings them out of their seats at Desert Financial Arena.
Yeah, I said after the first round between the Sun Devils and the Wildcats that was one of my top takeaways was just the impressiveness of Masamba Jop, especially the work he did around, the 10 to 12 foot mark away from the basket. Showed some nice touch. Definitely a player to contend with in round 2 as the Wildcats head up to Tempe, or down to Tempe because, of course, we're a higher elevation, for Saturday's game at noon. Let's talk to the man that calls the games for the Arizona State Sun Devils. First time we've had Tim Healy on the program. Tim, appreciate you taking a few moments to join us, the longtime voice of the Arizona State Sun Devils. So for Tim, for folks that maybe you're not aware with your record, how long have you been in the play-by-play chair with Arizona State?
Well, the radio play-by-play chair, this is my 28th season.
Wow.
And I also did their television. They did select television games in the Phoenix market, and I did that for them for 10 years. So this is actually my 38th year broadcasting ASU sports. I can't remember. I think my first trip to McHale Center was sometime around 1984 or 85 to cover a game there. So yeah, it's been a while, but I think I'm up. I'm not sure. I haven't done the latest calculations, but I think I'm approaching or close to 800 Sun Devil men's basketball games that I've called on the radio. So
what was it like that first year? Like tell me that your first year, because that was obviously right around the time probably Lute first got to town. What was it like in those early years when these two teams were battling out on the court?
Well, my first year doing the radio was actually 1998, so Lute had been here a while. As I said, I did some games on television, but when you do TV for an athletic department, you only do selected games. So, the first year was the 1998-99 school year, and It's just been one of those deals where obviously Arizona has, even before that, has dominated the rivalry with Arizona State. But every now and again, the Sun Devils rise up and get them, like they did 3 years ago on the Des Cambridge shot, and also a few years before that. I was just listening to a highlight we had here of Alonzo Verge making a driving layup to cap off a 22-point comeback and a win here over U of A back in 2020. And there have been some memorable ones. And I tell you, for a few precious moments, I thought they were going to get them again on January 14th. That still is one of the best games the Sun Devils have played this year.
How come
albeit in a loss, and they were what was it, a three? I think Mo Odom made a 3-pointer with 50 seconds left and could have had an and one and a 4-point play, and he's one of the best free throw shooters in the Big 12, but he missed the free throw, and then I think Jaden Bradley got a basket a few moments later to kind of help them salt the game. But that was a heck of a basketball game. I remember that's the exact same way my broadcast partner Kyle Dodd and I felt after the game that was won on the Des Cambridge miracle shot. Those were two really, really good basketball games. Both teams just left it all on the floor, and I thought that game 2 weeks ago was a really, really good game, and I frankly was surprised. I really kind of halfway expected the Devils were going to get blown out, and they did not. They stood tall in that game, and ultimately just the duo of Koa Pete and Tobe Awaka just wore them down on the inside, and that's been Arizona State's Achilles heel this year is, in the inside play, they're last in the league in rebounding, last in the league in rebound margin. And that's what hurt them the other night in their loss at UCF. That was a tough one to take. They had a 12-point lead with 6 minutes left in Orlando the other night and just could not finish the deal. UCF, a real good 3-point shooting team, and the Sun Devils did a great job on them. The Knights were only 1 of 10 from 3-point range in the first half, and then but when they needed some big threes, those guys stepped up and hit them, and a couple of them came off second chance opportunities because ASU could not secure defensive rebounds, and that's going to be something to keep an eye on Saturday, because in that game in Tucson, it was Koa Pete with a double-double and Tobe Awaka with a career-high 25 points that just really, really hurt him inside.
We're chatting with Tim Healy. He is the longtime play-by-play voice of the Arizona State Sun Devils, Wildcats and Sun Devils on Saturday at Desert Financial Arena. This was a team that there was a lot of excitement early on. Much like last year, a hot start, 9-2. You guys went to Maui, upset Texas, who has proven to be pretty good. And thank you. Anytime you beat Sean Miller, we don't necessarily mind that. Got to the final against USC, came back, beat a good Oklahoma team, and then almost like last year, the injuries kind of started. Is a lot of maybe this slippage about some of the injuries you guys have had, or is there more to it? Why haven't the Sun Devils been able to kind of capsulize that, what they had in Maui, and like you talked about a couple weeks ago here in Tucson?
Well, I don't think it's as much injuries. They have had a few issues there. Bryce Ford, who is a wing and a kid from the Phoenix area who played at Toledo and transferred back here, missed 4 games with a groin injury. He played in Tucson, and he played pretty well. He actually scored 9 points in that game. But not having him in the starting lineup, everyone kind of got thrown out of whack in terms of what their specific roles were. And I think in part because of Bryce's absence, one of the big factors is that the Devils went through a 5-game period right before and right after Christmas when they just could not hit 3-point shots. They've been a good 3-point shooting team most of the year, 39% in the first 11 games of the season. And in the last, I would say 5 or 6 games, they've been shooting them at, I think, about a 40% clip. But they had a 5-game stretch where they were just 20%. And actually, I think it was the Arizona game in Tucson that got them out of that slump, because they were 11 for 25 in that game. And prior to the 5 games prior to that, they literally couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. They were getting wide open looks too. It wasn't like they were having to put up a bunch of contested shots. They were getting great looks and just couldn't hit them. And just the last couple of years with this team, I mean, it sounds so, it makes me master of the bleeding obvious to say that if you put the ball in the basket, you might have a chance to win. But when this team has been able to shoot, hit shots, hit three-pointers at a, decent clip, they give themselves a chance to win games. And when they don't, they're in a world of hurt. And they went through that 5-game stretch where they shot just 20% from outside the arc, and that was a really big factor. And then, as I said, they've gotten, they tend to get beat on the boards just about every game. They just are not a team built to rebound the ball at a high rate. They need to have everybody, guards even, involved in trying to crash the boards and rebound the basketball to give them a chance in that aspect of play. But other than 2 games, they got blown out at BYU, and they got blown out a couple Sundays ago at Houston, and those are 2 fairly good basketball teams and 2 fairly tough places to play. And outside of those 2 games, they've won or they've been very competitive in all of their other losses. And they had a great quad 1 win for the taking Tuesday night. Up 12 with 6 minutes to go against a UCF team that had a 39 net ranking, and they just couldn't finish the deal because UCF started hitting threes. And again, a lot of those 3-pointers they got came off offensive rebounds and second chances, and those are things that the Sun Devils just given up too many of those lately.
Tim Healy is our guest, play-by-play man of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Tim, obviously after that loss to West Virginia at home, Bobby came out and said some things, sounded really defeated with what was happening with this program. How did that play in Sun Devil community? Were people shocked to hear what they heard from him after that game?
Well, I think everyone was talking about how discouraged he sounded, but my honest opinion is I kind of think there was a slight little bit of method to the madness, and I think he was basically trying to get the attention of his players. And, and coaches down through the years have done that a lot of ways. A lot of coaches have used the press, the media as a tool through which they communicate their discontent with the way their team is playing. And I kind of think it was a effort on his part to just get the ear of his players, and I think message received, because they came right back 3 days later and posted a solid win at home Saturday night over a good Cincinnati team. And as I said, UCF to me is kind of a sleeper team in this league. The Big 12, you got I think the 5 teams at the top. Arizona, BYU, Houston, Iowa State and Texas Tech. And then I think just below that plateau is UCF. And the Sun Devils went on the road and played well and almost won that game. So, they've played much better in the 2 games that have transpired since Coach Hurley's post-game comments last Wednesday night. And he really did sound extremely discouraged about the state of things and the way his club played. And keep in mind that the game that preceded that home loss was that blowout loss to Houston that I referenced. So it had been a couple of tough games. And ASU actually played well in the first half of their game against West Virginia. And then I think they had an 8-point lead with, a few minutes to go in the first half. But the Mountaineers cut the gap, I think, to 2 at the half, and then just dominated in the second half. And their 3-point shooting was a big factor in that game. So that's another thing about 3-point shooting. Not only of the Sun Devils did they go through that 5-game stretch where they weren't good at it, but their opponents have hit at a high clip this year. I think ASU is next to last in the Big 12 in 3-point defense. Their opponents are hitting about 35%, and it just seems like game in and game out, when opponents get wide open looks from beyond the arc, they seldom miss. So just kind of one of those things.
Tim, we've got a couple of bigs from Senegal on the Wildcat roster, but I don't think they're as advanced as Massamba Diop quite just yet. What excites you most about that young man?
I think his athleticism. I think he has pretty good basketball instincts and savvy, but just how athletic he is. In the very first game of the season, I remember he took the ball from one end of the floor to the other on the dribble drive and got a layup, and he's just so athletic. around the basket. He has a nice touch too around the basket. He's a pretty solid free throw shooter. He's been shooting in the mid 70% from the line. The one thing I would like to see him do more is rebound. He averages about 5 rebounds a game. With that height and his athleticism, you'd love to see him maybe get 7 or 8 rebounds per game. The Sun Devils certainly could use those boards. Samba has a tendency to go up and try to deflect the ball out to the perimeter, out to a teammate, rather than going and getting that rebound himself. But the thing that you do love about him and the thing that excites you about him is just his overall athleticism, touch around the rim. Seems to be a young man that, his teammates like him. This, in general, is a very well-connected team. For one that Bobby had to overhaul in the offseason, only one player on this team, reserve guard Trevor Best, played for this club last year. And yet all the imports that Bobby brought in it's mostly a group of foreign players like Samba, one JUCO transfer. Pig Johnson comes from the NAIA level, where he was the number 4 scorer in the nation last year. And the other guys are non-power conference Division I transfers. And yet these guys have come together, and they have a great deal of connectivity, and they're close, they're bonded. And I think that will help them as they try to kind of turn their season around and see if they can get on some kind of a run here over the final 6 weeks or so of the regular season, heading toward the conference tournament.
There you go. He is the voice of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Tim, appreciate you taking some time to join us. We look forward to maybe having you back on again in the future.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking.
All right, Tim Healy right there. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll have much more coming up for you. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
For your big game party, you better pop into Total Wine & More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-269-3394. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394. 800-269-3394.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it, your neighbor's kid does it, and yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword, fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save you money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues with UFC 325 live from Australia. Catch featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch of his epic title fight against Diego Lopez. And the always dangerous Dan Hooker throws down with dynamic finisher Benoit Saint Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown. UFC fans, pay-per-view just got knocked out. Catch UFC 325 on Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus. Stream every fight live with one subscription. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
Empower. Pete's back on the links with all new golf clubs and hopefully less swearing.
Dang, sliced it.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money so he can be a little bad.
Heads up!
Oof. Talent sold separately.
Guy said these were slice proof.
At least he has money for lessons. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Ina and La Cañada and Ina hit and run, some southbound slowing. Another hit and run wreck occurred Bear Canyon south of Snyder. 42 the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Appreciate Tim Healy, voice of the Arizona State Sun Devils, for joining us on the show. Been trying to get him for a while and finally had the opportunity to do that. I was not surprised, J-Dub, what he said there, because there was a part of me that kind of felt like when I heard what Bobby Hurley was talking about after that loss to West Virginia, there was a part of me that said he sounds like he might be trying to send a message to his team by coming out and kind of taking the tone that he did, trying to send a message to his fan base as well, with the comments that he made about how, you know, this is not a home court advantage. We don't have a home court advantage. And I think, again, that's sometimes coaches need to do that to kind of get everybody around their program on the same page, in their program on the same page. And so I'm not necessarily surprised to hear Tim, who's obviously somebody that's on the in the know, more on the inside, come out and say that.
Well, it's always consider the source, right? And Coach Hurley grew up in a household with one of the most famous high school basketball coaches of all time as a father. We all know about his brother's success at UConn. What I will tell you about Bobby Hurley, DK, was he was a semi-unathletic, not ultra-athletic, we'll put it that way, a semi-undersized point guard who still to this day leads the NCAA in all-time assists. And what do I mean by that? Well, he's not defeatist. He's not a person who's going to have a pity party for himself. He's a self-made guy. He's overcome all the obstacles himself. So what I'm saying is it might have sounded like it was a woe is me kind of thing, but clearly if he comes out, DK, and says and attacks the student body, if he comes out and attacks his own players in the media, it's a much different story. It's a much different headline the next day as opposed to the way he did it. That's something that Coach Miller did a lot, which was making just broad statements about his program and his current state of his team, which were clearly directed towards players. I'm sure there's conversations going on behind the scenes, but as far as the hype that the ASU basketball program had in his first couple of years a little bit of a lull, maybe what they had 5 years ago. Obviously, the whole program has to be disappointed. The athletic department has to be disappointed about the fan support. And that's just the era it is. In a big city like that, DK, there's a lot of things to do. Same with Los Angeles. I think Coach Hurley, having been there 10 years, wanted to build upon the success of the early years. There's been a huge exodus of players, and his message to his team is we still got, half the Big 12 season left to go. Let's get out and put some butts in those seats. Let's play inspired basketball, dive for loose balls, box out for boards, and finish out this season the right way. Because what I know about Coach Hurley is he's not a guy looking for your pity. He's always going to do it on his own terms.
520-848-1290 is our phone number. Give us a call. You want to talk Arizona basketball. If you have any thoughts on the Sun Devil program, I know that there are Sun Devil fans down here in Southern Arizona. If that's your team, your school, your program, how are you feeling right now about your head basketball coach, Bobby Hurley? Want to hear from you at 520-848-1290. DK on the sports tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
O'Reilly. Choose Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Their extra-large profile and premium features are made for all driving conditions. Save $16 when you buy a pair of Rain-X Rugged XL wiper blades, plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Meet Lee Platz, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, One day, Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
It's the biggest game on the planet, and nobody breaks it down like Jim Rome.
Who do you think will be the last one standing this year?
Fearless debate and the best callers in sports.
On any given week, you have lots to beef about. Take advantage of it. Get up in here.
Big games, big opinions, and zero mercy.
We will get to all of that. You've been warned.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
A lot to get to, and I'm not sure you're going to like all of it. I don't even care if you like all of it or not. I have a job to do.
The Jim Rome Show.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood. Your money, your move. The San Antonio Spurs beat the Houston Rockets last night 111-99. Wemby had 28, 16, and 5 blocks. Each week that passes during this season, the Spurs continue to play great basketball. As the winter turns into spring, it's time to consider this young Spurs team as a serious championship contender. I'm Chris Black.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. I love numbers. Like 100, as in 100%, as in TaxSlayer's 100% accuracy. Guaranteed. And 0, as in $0, as in it costs $0 to file and get the refund you deserve with TaxSlayer Simply Free, if you qualify. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers with age, income, credit, and deduction restrictions. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility requirements. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ Soft Serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into Soft Serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
So good.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on this program. DK on the sports tip. So glad you could be with us. Full show today, and then we're going to have the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show at the conclusion of our program, 6:05 right here, Wildcats Radio 1290. The head coach, the voice of the Wildcats, Brian Jeffries, will be live at the Union Public House tonight. A great night to get on out and check out the head coach. I imagine they'll probably be outside this tonight. So the show will be out on the patio. So sit on the patio and eat some good food, have some nice beverages, and listen to the leader of the best basketball team in the country. In fact, I'm going to let you hear some of what he had to say today. We had a chance to caucus with Tommy Lloyd a few hours ago. Fine, you know, I'm glad we don't get a whole lot of opportunities to get in front of Tommy if you're not, in terms of if you're there for the games, which unfortunately I can't stay after the games because we have the show to do. So we had to get in a bunch of questions for DK with TL today coming up, you know, and now that DK with TL is sponsored, I can't use them all at one time. I have to kind of spread them out because, you know, again, I don't know how often we're going to get in front of the head coach. And what's nice about the upcoming schedule is there's going to be some length. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Tommy a few more times because the Wildcats will play this game. They played Monday. And so then that was kind of the midweek game was pushed up a couple of days because they've been playing those games on Wednesday. And then they play Saturday, and then they don't play again for another Saturday. And that'll be the home game against, I believe it's Oklahoma State, coming up a week from Saturday.
If you're keeping score, that's one game in 12 days.
Yeah, absolutely. So a chance to refresh, recharge, and maybe, you know, again, if there's anybody that's ailing, although it doesn't appear that the Wildcats have really dealt with anything extensive in terms of injuries, that's always a good thing. 86-83 winners on Monday over BYU. It was a game that got a little dicey kind of towards the end for Arizona after they were up big in this contest. The Cougars got hot down the stretch. They hit 8 of their final 12 three-point shots in the game and had the ball late after a turnover with a chance to win. I mean, it was funny. Like Channel 13, the folks over at Channel 13, my guy Damien Alameda, they put out a video. They recorded themselves watching the game, watching the final few minutes, and that was kind of funny. Just their reactions when Braden got the block at the end to kind of seal the game. It was kind of fun. Check that out. Head on over to Damien's Twitter page and check that out if you get an opportunity. But let's hear a little bit from Tommy Lloyd about the end of the game process the other night and how his Wildcats did down the stretch of the game.
What are some of the positive things that allowed you to get up, and then what caused them or allowed them to come back, and and also I think let's always have respect for our opponent, respect for playing on the road, and the teams make these steep climb comebacks often at home. It happens. So I think it was good for our guys to experience. I would rather we not experienced it, but we did. So let's live in reality and use it as a learning experience.
Tommy, when you looked at the tape, though, defensively, did you see deficiencies in the three-point defense down the stretch?
We obviously could have been a little bit better defensively, getting out to some of those guys. They subbed in a shooting specialist. We kind of got caught overhelping a couple of times, but you're also overhelping on a kid who's going to be the first or second pick in the draft. And if you don't help on him and he makes the shot, that's where you kind of get stuck sometimes. And then, they had a guy, who is a good player who hadn't been shooting the ball well, go 5 of 8 from 3, and so you're probably making some decisions on, where you want to be positionally in those gaps when you're guarding him, and he made his pay. So after the first couple, hopefully you adjust, but, he got on a little bit of a roll.
So it was kind of Arizona's version of what we heard a few weeks ago from Jerome Tang, pick your poison. It was like, okay, we can keep our eyes on this talented freshman here and hope that he doesn't beat us doing crazy things and maybe give up a few things outside the arc. And then the other side of that was the guy that we weren't even sure was going to play, Kennard Davis Jr., got in there and made some shots that he had not necessarily shown on film that he was capable of getting on a bender like that. So, but again, that's basketball. You're going to get into some perfect storms like that where a guy gets hot. NCAA tournament, guys get hot, start making threes, and all of a sudden you can find yourself in a little bit of a predicament there. So I would not say that was a bad decision. I mean, obviously with what you saw from AJ Dibonsa in the prior game, scoring 43 points and showing his ability to do it both inside and outside, I would think, you'd maybe want to be a little bit more concerned about him than maybe some of those other ancillary players on the Cougar offense.
Yeah, not just him, because the Cougars are very unique in that they have 3 guys averaging 17 or more points. So AJ had it going, always does. Richie Saunders can go and get 30 easy. And although Robert Wright didn't shoot well that game, obviously, he's also a guy who can go get his own. So there's no such thing as a perfect coverage in college basketball. But when you're facing a team that has 3 individuals who can score at 3 levels, you really put more defensive attention towards those 3 guys. What you mentioned, TK, was guys like Kennard Davis Jr. were knocking down open looks based on the attention those 3 guys were getting. So down the stretch, what'd you say, 8 for 12 in their last 10 minutes of that game?
Yeah.
Down the stretch, BYU made shots. Previous to that, they hadn't made some shots, maybe a couple that were open. But to me, it's quite literally 3 offensive threats that can go and get their own will always require extra defensive attention. There's no perfect way to defend that. I think Arizona didn't have too many defensive lapses during that stretch. I think you give credit to BYU for making a ferocious comeback, as a team's going to do, because a lot of teams are going to define their entire season upon knocking off the number 1 unanimous undefeated Arizona Wildcats. These are as the games go on, DK, they get bigger and bigger the longer Arizona, for opponents, the longer that Arizona stays undefeated.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. All right, 1 hour is in the books. We can talk more Arizona basketball in hour number 2 and hour number 3 if you'd like. I got to get a question of the day up to you guys. I haven't had, we've been on the road This is our first show back in studio. We're on the road Tuesday over at Omni Tucson National for the golf tournament. That was a whole lot of fun. We were on the road yesterday over at Showtime Cards. Hope our guy George Maris is feeling better. George, we missed you over there yesterday. Looking forward to getting back there in a few more weeks and chatting with George about everything. And I think the Wednesday we're going next will be right after the Super Bowl, so we can dive into everything that's happening with Super Bowl Sunday or what happened off Super Bowl Sunday with him. And speaking of it, one of the voices you hear on our NFL coverage is Kevin Harlan. And Kevin Harlan in his existence has called some very interesting things, from animals running across the field. I think he's got a couple of famous calls of that type of thing happen. Streakers streaking across the field, or fans running across the field. I don't know if anybody
as a play-by-play guy yourself,
in terms of nakedness, but
you're not supposed to recognize the streakers, are you? Don't draw attention to that.
Exactly. That's what they tell you. But has Kevin Harlan ever called a baby race? I don't know, but I know one guy who did, and that was Derek Palmer last night. You'll hear that straight ahead. DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Crash in Oro Valley, Oracle, and Pushview Lane, and Oracle. Also some usual slowdowns for Ajo and Mission westbound and southbound. Travel busy westbound Grant at I-10, also westbound Speedway Boulevard at Main Avenue. 42 the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, and 68 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Celebrate Happy Honda Days at AutoNation Honda Tucson. Save up to $7,500 on pilots, leases starting at $399 a month, and enjoy incredible rates on 2025 and 2026 models. Visit us off Wetmore and Automall Drive today.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I could enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, choose a genuine local Tucson company, Done Right Services. With decades of trusted experience and upfront pricing, Done Right Services treats every customer like a valued neighbor. From upgrades to urgent repairs, Our licensed professionals deliver quality, care, and craftsmanship you can count on, getting it done right. Call Done Right Services today at 520-369-3966 because you deserve it done right.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show on this Thursday. Jump on board 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. So the Wildcats played basketball on Monday this week, which was early. This is the first of 2 of the quick turnaround Saturday, Mondays that they'll play after this stretch of games. We mentioned they have 1 game in 12 days coming up. But then they'll play another one of those Saturday, Monday turnarounds as well coming up in a few weeks here. So since the Wildcats have played, just to kind of update you on what has happened in this very rough and tumble conference, we just chatted in the first hour with Tim Healy. Arizona State went on the road and lost to Central Florida 79-76. So UCF is staying in the mix. They're 5-3. So they're right there. They lost to the Wildcats. Then they went, they went and lost to Iowa State right after that. But now they bounced back. They beat Arizona State. So they're staying in the mix. 5-3. Good for them. Kansas State is Kansas State. They're not very good. They're 1-7. They lost at West Virginia on Tuesday. West Virginia right there at 5-3, so they're hanging around. Houston remains to be Houston. They go on the road and beat TCU last night, 79-70. So they're 6-1, right behind the Wildcats. I guess it doesn't matter that James Najee showed up in Waco because they're not very good this year, are the Baylor Bears. They lost on the road at Cincinnati last night, 67-57. Baylor is 1-7 this season in the Big 12. So not happiness happening there. And we actually have a Thursday game. I don't think we have a lot of Thursday games in the Big 12, but again, television and FS1 this year. So I guess there is many games as you can get on FS1, the better. So there is a game tonight, and that'll be actually getting started in 1 hour on FS1. It's the early game. Usually it's when it's us. It's the late game on FS1. Colorado will be on the road at 8th-ranked Iowa State. So Iowa State will be looking to go to 6-2 in the conference. And Colorado had a really nice non-conference schedule, but they've struggled a bit since the beginning of conference play. The Buffs are just 2-5. So behind Arizona right now, in case you were not aware, is Houston and Texas Tech at 6-1. Both those teams still to come on the Wildcats schedule. They'll play those teams just once. Last year, I believe they played Texas Tech twice.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
They played them twice last year. They'll play them just once.
I know Houston did not come here either, did they? Last year?
They did. Yeah, they did. They came here last year.
Yeah, no, it was Kansas. Kansas who
Kansas
didn't, because
did
they only
not come
played at Allen Fieldhouse, and then they played Kansas
Right, at
again,
the
like
end of
10
the-
days later in the Big 12
the
tournament.
tournament, 5-2, there are 3 teams: Kansas, Iowa State, BYU. 5-3, there are 2 teams: UCF and West Virginia, and then everybody else is under 500. TCU, Cincinnati, 3-5. Oklahoma State, Colorado, 2-5. ASU, 2-6. Utah, 1-6. Baylor and Kansas State are 1-7. So that is how the conference at the moment is stacking up. The longest win streak outside of Arizona is 21 in a row. Texas Tech has won 5 straight games.
It's just the guys at the top beating up on each other, right? So what you're looking at is Houston defeated Texas Tech, right?
Right.
Houston lost to Texas Tech. So, I mean, those top 5 teams, you talk about the teams at the bottom, those top 5 teams, to my knowledge, haven't lost to anybody outside of those top 5 teams.
Yeah.
So Texas Tech, again, lost to Houston. Kansas has lost to UCF and West Virginia. If you want to consider them, obviously, as a top 5 team, they are currently 5th. But what I'm looking at, DK, is 5 top 10 national champion level contending teams. And then, as you mentioned, Colorado, ASU, very successful non-conference schedules against maybe some lesser competition. Those records look pretty gaudy coming in. But what we've seen so far, pretty much halfway through the conference season, is that those 5 teams are great. And that in order to get a win versus those top 5 teams as one of the other teams in the conference, you really have to have a special night, because right now they're just beating up on each other. Everybody else is just taking L's to those teams.
I mentioned that the Wildcats will play another one of those quick turnaround games coming up, where they play Saturday, Monday. That'll be next Saturday, the home game for Oklahoma State, and then they'll turn around and play at Kansas on Monday. So both of these quick turnaround games will be a home game Saturday and then a hostile ranked road environment on Monday. So it's almost the same thing. But I guess the fortunate thing is that, again, I mean, Oklahoma State, and you never want, like Tommy said today, you gotta be in the moment. You can't really look by any team. Jaden Bradley said we look at every team as being number 1, but both of these quick turnaround situations, they've had a lesser team on the home side prior to having to make that road trip to the larger ranked opponent.
Before fans think that's a little bit of hijinks by the Big 12 schedulers, I will tell you that the Houston Cougars, who are back-to-back conference title winners, DK, have the same thing. So they play UCF at home on the 4th, then they go to Provo to play BYU 3 days later. So, and that's not exactly the same 2-day short turnaround, but the idea of playing a home game and then a couple days later going to a very hostile environment in a short week is pretty common, I think, this year in the conference. It's weird when you go from 20 last year to 18 this year and what that does to the scheduling, because we'll see things like the anomaly of Arizona only playing 1 game during a 12-day period this Saturday versus ASU.
But they're going to play 4 games in 18 days. Against 4 ranked opponents.
Get your rest now.
That might be a we'll put that question of the day up there. J-Dub, what the 4 games in 18 days? That Monday game at Kansas currently ranked 14th. Then they'll turn around and play Saturday home against Texas Tech. That game there's still no start time on that game. It's listed as either 4 or 4:30, so it's gonna be a late afternoon game, but we don't have an exact start time on that game just yet. We'll alert you when we do get one for that game. Then they're going to go and then they'll host BYU, the return game here. That'll be on, I believe, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, the 18th. And then they'll go down and play Houston, number 10, on Saturday, the 21st. So I think an upcoming question of the day will be, and you can start thinking about it now, what will be the Wildcats' record in those 4 games?
If the question is, when's the last time Arizona played 4 consecutive teams ranked in the top 15 in conference in February, I can tell you it's 0. And that's 4 different top 15 ranked teams. Yeah. I mean, I remember in the 90s and early 2000s that Stanford, UCLA, Arizona, even Oregon, and sometimes it would be Oregon State would sneak in. And Washington was very good for a stretch. There would be quality teams in the pack, but not 4 consecutive games versus different individual unique teams that are all currently ranked in the top 15. So it's going to be quite the stretch.
520-848-1290 is the number. We found out today Arizona Wildcat 25 product, Carter Bryant, is going to be in the slam dunk contest coming up at NBA All-Star Weekend. Where is All-Star Weekend this year? Do you know?
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look it up.
Sure. I used to, back when I was young and single, and I used to go to NBA All-Star Weekend. I knew where it was every year because I've said before, if you get a chance,
LA,
Los Angeles.
Yeah, I got to check to
There
see
you
where
go.
it is. I'm assuming maybe the new building, potentially.
the Intuit Dome.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up.
probably.
Just say LA.
Yeah,
though.
it is. It's at the Intuit Dome.
Yeah, makes sense.
If you're a single young man in your mid to 20s to late 20s, I would advise going to the NBA All-Star Weekend and hanging out. It's a whole lot of fun. I did it 3 times in my 20s.
What if you're a 50-year-old with many kids and you're near retirement and you have a little spending money? Do you still go?
Sure. Why not? It's
Okay.
it's a whole lot of fun.
Cool.
It is a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of traffic, but it's a whole lot of fun for sure. So try to stay downtown where everything is. So all you got to do is walk and maybe Uber a half a block or 2 blocks or something like that. But yeah, you don't want to be like outside where you got to drive in because the traffic around NBA All-Star Weekend can be a whole lot.
And especially if it's in Los Angeles.
Yes, indeed. So Carter Bryant is going to be in the NBA All-Star game. So now we were looking for a question of the day. So J-Dub came up with let's do one with Carter Bryant being in the NBA All-Star game. Now you're going to have to roll these choices out to me, J-Dub, because I did not write them down. So
no, my thought was, what the other news is we heard a 3-time defending champion Mac McClung is not going to be in the slam dunk contest, so there will be a new leader. I've heard a whole bunch of players turn it down, but my just initial thought was, where does Carter Bryant finish in that All-Star dunk contest? We just found that information out a couple hours ago. We all remember Aaron Gordon, potentially, quote unquote, being robbed, or, depending on how you look at it. Andre Iguodala, similar situation. There's been some success. I know Chase Budinger was in it, but where do you think the young Carter Bryant would finish in this year's slam dunk contest? Opening round, semis, finals type of thing.
Okay, so one of my choices here, because we've talked about it before, how he got demoted after missing a dunk. So I'm going to say, which of these is most likely to happen? Well, he's going to miss a dunk because they all miss a dunk, right? So that might not be a good one.
Well, here's the thing. It used to be they had infinite dunks, and that's why Andre Iguodala didn't win, right? Because his opponent in the finals had 14 attempts before he got his 50.
Yeah.
But now I think it's a time limit. They change it every single year to try to bump up interest because the Michael Jordans are no longer participating. It's no longer Dominique Wilkins versus Michael Jordan, that level of star power. So they keep changing the rules. Who even knows what the rule system is going to be this year? But generally, it's been you have a time period to complete a dunk, and if you miss a few times, that will count against you.
All right, so here are going to be the 4 choices. Well, and I'm going to put this up, and I'll leave this up maybe for a few. I'm just going to leave it up for 24 hours.
By the way, these are the only 2 players who so far have been named. Jackson Hayes also today says that he's going to be in the contest.
All right, so that would be, we were 4:12, so 23 hours and 48 minutes would end it tomorrow right at showtime. All right, so here is this about to go up? Here are your choices. Which of these is most likely to happen to Carter? He misses multiple dunks. He doesn't make the second round. Is the second round the semifinals, or is there?
Again, there's only 2. So far, there's only 2 contestants who've been named.
Right.
If it stays that way, there's going to be 1 round.
I'm going to say doesn't make the semifinal because I think there is a semifinals. I'll say doesn't make the semifinals. Gets a 50 for a dunk. Wins the whole thing. How about that? Is that 4 good choices, you think?
Yes, although that it's possible he gets a 50 and wins the contest.
Well,
so both can be true.
Which is most likely to happen. So I mean, any of these could be most likely. Which is the most likely to happen? Is he most likely to get a 50 or is he most likely to win the whole thing? That's going to be so those will be the 4 choices. I'll give you 23 hours and 48 minutes to vote on this, and that will go up here shortly. Cricket joins us now. She is the 3rd member of our program. So, Cricket.
Hi.
Have you ever seen a baby race?
A baby race?
Yes. Do you know what a baby race is?
Against babies, like infants?
Yeah. Have you ever seen babies race at sporting? It's a popular thing at sporting events.
Like, are they crawling?
Like they put babies on the court or babies on the field, and there's like 10 yards. It might be like 10 yards. They'll put a finish line, and one parent's at one end, and the other parent's at the other end, and they say go. And then the moms will clap like this to try to get their baby, or whatever they do to get their baby to crawl to them, and whichever baby crosses the finish line first wins.
Yeah, you missed that part. It's the parent that the baby likes the most goes to the other end of the court and encourages the baby to come to them.
But then, babies are like animals. Like, that baby might take off towards the favorite parent, then turn right back around.
Anything is possible,
to go
man.
the other way.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, right. So, okay.
All right. So last night there was a baby race at the U of A ASU women's basketball game.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, let's find out.
Toward the end of that first quarter, the Wildcats would get to the free throw line an additional 4 times. There's a baby race going on with a lot of uninterested babies, as one of them is now crying after mom tried to encourage her, and she wound up hitting the floor. Now we got one baby who's broken free. Another baby is trying to make a run, but instead it's the one baby who is the only baby who's going, as it approaches the finish line, takes a look back and is now pondering whether or not it wants this little bit of attention to end. Instead, being offered a phone and a binky. Oh, can't get there. No, the baby is all milking this thing for all that it's worth. Shaking off mom. Says that I'm not going to come all the way over there. We now have another couple of babies who have started to make an approach, but nobody else has come anywhere near the finish line. And now that baby crosses. All right, baby number 2. Baby number 2, the victorious baby.
Oh, man.
But wait.
Wait, what?
Well, who's going to call second place?
Second place is using the scooch.
The scooch.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Is that like
where were we?
Scooching?
On the booty.
Basketball game was going
probably.
on.
Oh, my goodness. There you go.
That's
Derek
cute.
Palmer calling a baby race last night.
I believe a binky is a
binky?
sucker.
Yeah, I have no idea what a binky is.
Pacifier.
Oh,
yeah.
the pacifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
There you
Hand
go.
out the phone and the binky, and the baby's like, I want you. That's the parent I want.
I like the part where the baby wins and he's like, the baby has no interest in going to mom. The baby just wants to soak up all the attention they're getting right now.
And that must be like loud and kind of super confusing. How exciting.
I would
though.
imagine, I'm surprised a lot of those babies don't freak out. I think some of them, they put the headphones on or had something so they don't hear all the people.
Yes.
The noise.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because they would probably freak out if all that noise.
Yeah,
That's
earplug type of thing's never a bad idea because their hearing's not exactly fully developed to a certain point.
It's true. I'd love
There
to
you go.
see
So
that.
now cricket, you have officially you haven't seen it. I wish we'd had video of that to go along with Derek's play-by-play. I'll see if I can find video. Maybe we'll do that later in the show.
play-by-play was pretty exciting.
It
though,
was.
man.
Derek
Yeah.
did a tremendous job
Did a
with
good
that.
job.
We'll
My
have to
favorite
ask
part
him
is he
about
was
that.
just recapping the first half and
Yeah.
they just had to call the baby race that was happening in front of him.
All the puns, and they're milking it for all it's worth. Ha 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 ha. That was good. He did a good job, man.
There we go. All right. Cricket is here. She's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together. Oracle and Pushview Lane crash reported up north in Oro Valley, Pushview Lane and Oracle. We've got a lot of road work and a lot of slowdowns. Expect those slowdowns and road work. Keno and Ajo and Keno. Also Palo Verde and Irvington. Southbound, northbound, and westbound slowing Irvington and Palo Verde. 42 the overnight low, sunny 73 tomorrow and 69 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
What's that song that goes ba-da-da-da-da-da?
You mean la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee? No, he's talking about bum, 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 bum.
No, that's not it.
All right, guys, we don't have time for this. Furnaces are breaking down, and we promise we'll be there in one day.
That's it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, we'll arrive in one day or your repair is free.
Oh, that song.
One of my favorites. If you have a problem today, Alaskan AC will get to you within 1 day.
If we don't, the whole repair is free.
No matter how much.
So good, people are singing about it.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in 1 day or your repair is free.
Reminds me of that other song that goes boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're not as cultured as me.
You have about as much culture as a bowl of yogurt.
With Alaskan AC service guarantee, will arrive in 1 day or your repair is free.
AlaskanAC.com.
Start the new year in a new Buick or GMC and save big. Now at Royal Buick GMC. Lease the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Edition for $277 per month for 24 months. Upgrade the family to a new 25 Buick Enclave for $375 a month for 24 months. Or go electric in the 2026 GMC Hummer EV pickup for $760 a month for 36 months. OAC must lease with GM Financial. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. G9196 3499 due at signing. B34186 4500 due at signing. G9192 6000 due at signing. Offers end 2/2/26. New Year's savings won't last. Hurry in and save now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Okay, get this. Now at Wendy's, you get to go biggie with new Biggie deals. That means going biggie with the $4 Biggie Bites, biggier with the $6 Biggie Bag, or biggiest with an $8 Biggie Bundle. So now you can choose and customize your Biggie deal. As you should. Sorry, I get fired up when I'm talking deals. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
The American Red Cross is facing a severe blood shortage, and donors are needed right now to make sure life-saving care isn't delayed for accident victims, surgery patients, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and chronic blood disorders. The Red Cross blood supply has dropped about 35% in recent weeks. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation. Take action and help save lives.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart Strategy does. Cumulus digital campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by over 25%. You're not average, and your results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to leave average behind.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No. They use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope. Only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Only 2 head coaching openings remain in the NFL after the Browns filled theirs, according to our NFL Network insiders. Cleveland is hiring former Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken as its next head coach. Monken previously spent time in Cleveland as the Browns offensive coordinator under Freddie Kitchens in 2019. This marks just the second head coaching stop of his career after serving as head coach at Southern Miss from 2013 to 2015. Just the Cardinals and Raiders have head coaching openings left to fill. Meantime, Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, who was also a finalist for the head job in Cleveland, does not plan on staying with the team after Monken's hire. Despite a 5-12 record, the Browns finished 4th in the NFL in total defense in 2025. And the Titans hired former Giants head coach Brian Daboll as their new offensive coordinator. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so
much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I don't think there's been a baby race yet this year at McHale Center. Not that I've seen. They generally do have one every year there, so that could be forthcoming. Our baby race. I don't know that Brian Jeffries would call that, but during a men's game, we may have one in a women's game. I think when I've seen them though, it's been at men's games. To be quite frank with you, we shall see. Last night on the basketball court in Tempe, ASU came from 8 down midway through the third quarter to beat the Wildcats 68-61, winning the first meeting in the Territorial Cup series on the women's side. The second one will be on Valentine's Day here in Tucson, a game that will begin at 11 a.m. That Saturday. The men obviously will play their second half of the Territorial Cup Series this Saturday up in Tempe at Desert Financial Arena. Let's hear last night from Becky Burke, Nolani Cornfield. After a 7-point loss, Nolani Cornfield led the Wildcats. She scored 19 points on 7 of 9 from the floor, dished out 6 assists. Let's hear from Becky Burke and Nolani on their first ever Territorial Cup Series game.
I am so proud of our team, proud of our effort, proud of our fight. Don't get me wrong, very disappointed with the outcome. Thought it. We did a lot of things right and thought we put ourselves in a position to win, but ultimately we didn't. So doesn't take anything away from how well we executed the game plan, how hard these guys played. I thought we had them really out of sorts. I thought we mixed up defenses. I thought we did a really, really good job. Just got loose with a couple things here and there. Got a lot of players in that locker room that feel like they wish they could have had a player or two back, and this thing could have gone the other way. So credit to Arizona State. That's what you want a rivalry game to feel like. You want it to be punches thrown back and forth. You want it to be right hook, left hook, and that's exactly what that was. So I know we're really excited for the opportunity to have them in a couple weeks down in Tucson, but really proud of my group.
Hey Coach, it's nice to talk to you. It's Aya Abdi for Depth in Detail. There was 6,151 fans in attendance, which was like the most in Arizona State versus Arizona women's basketball history in Tempe. How cool is it to be a part of this electric community in here tonight?
It was great. I'm happy for them. We play in that environment every night.
Becky, down the stretch there, seemed like, the turnovers started piling up. Do you think they start pressing? What happens there? What was ASU doing to cause it?
We actually only turned it over 6 times in the second half, but I think early in the first half it hurt us. But again, we adjusted our press offense and made some really, really good just adjustments at halftime that really helped us with those turnovers versus their press, and we were pretty unbothered by it in the second half. So yeah, I was frustrated in the first half with those turnovers, but happy to see the response and the adjustment that we made and how they executed in the second half. But again, a game that's going to be as low scoring as this one, which we knew it was, every turnover, you kind of wish you could have back and take care of it a little bit better.
Nolani, you guys surged ahead in the third quarter. What was working well for you guys as a team during that stretch?
Nothing. We just had energy. We was in flow state. We was pressuring on defense. We were active, getting the ball out, pushing the ball. But fouls stop momentum. So that's what happened.
Coach, you said not to put players in the key on some
free throws. What was the decision process, or what was the thought process behind that decision?
Just to get back, get our defense set. We're not really offensive rebounding off the free throw line anyway at a high level, so just the risk reward for not getting back and getting our defense set doesn't make sense for us. So just taking them off the free throw line, getting our defense set, getting everybody on the same page, pointing, talking, communicating as they come down the floor.
There was a moment when Cameron Kitchen in the third quarter made a three-pointer to extend Arizona's lead to 6, where she was seen hyping the crowd, which there was a lot of Wildcats fans in the building.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just curious, how cool is it to be a part of the rivalry history, especially like in your first year as head coach?
No, it's great. It's phenomenal. Again, like impressed with the crowd and how many fans you guys had today, how many fans, drove up from Tucson. This is what it's all about. This is what college basketball is about. This is where memories are made. But that's what you want. You want Cam to hit a dagger and turn to the crowd and get them excited, and then they come down a couple minutes later, they do the same thing. So, we gave the fans what they wanted for sure. We just ultimately didn't get what we wanted out of this. So.
Another one on Cam in her first start, right?
Yeah.
Tonight. How did you think she responded to that?
But she did a good job. Kim's really talented offensively. Hasn't played a whole ton of minutes. I mean, that's the most minutes she's probably played all season combined. And so really excited for her to just build her confidence, continue to get comfortable out there, because when she does, she's capable of what she did tonight and then some. So, or without Mickey right now, we were without Tanny tonight. Like what this group did and the names on this piece of paper and how they were able to come together and be in a position to win this basketball game. I mean, we're really we're down some important people right now, so I'm just really proud of them.
One more about Cam. You said a couple of games ago that the way for her to get on the court was more active on defense.
Yep.
She picked up her 4th foul with like 3 minutes left in the third, and then was in like the entire 4th quarter. Just from game to game, how you're seeing her grow defensively, the maturity that she's showing kind of in those quick adjustments that she's able to make.
Yeah, with Cam, I think I'm okay with some of those fouls because she's trying to play harder. That's what I've been challenging her on, like play harder. And letting her know that I'm okay with some fouls if it means you're playing hard and you're not being passive and you're not sitting off the ball and being lazy, So, I think she's, like I said, just continuing to get experience. The kid's a freshman, it's takes time, and she's now getting those opportunities. So I'm excited to see what she does with those the rest of the season.
Coach, you started MJ tonight. She really hadn't played very much lately. What was the thought process behind it?
Yeah, like I said, we're down some important bodies, and Tanny was good to go, but didn't get a great week of prep, and I just didn't feel good about throwing her out there and testing it out, and she could have went, but it just wasn't in the best interest of our team. And so MJ's numbers called, like I said, when people's numbers are called on this team, we're ready. But you're out, you're leading scorer, then you're out, you're one of your most athletic kids and best on-ball defender, all these things. It's just makes me more proud to have some perspective about what we're doing with who we have on the floor. MJ hasn't played, Cam hasn't played, Molly hasn't played. We have 3 freshmen on the floor for a majority of that game, so I'm happy for them.
One more.
Coach, first territorial cup of your Arizona career. Did this week feel any different than other rivalry games you've been a part of?
Yeah. I'm not good with rivalries because I take it way too serious and I'm too competitive. So it's been all I've been thinking about, all I've been focused on, and I know they were the same way. And so this one hurts a little bit more, stings a little bit more. But like I said, we just broke our huddle in that locker room, letting them know we get them in a couple weeks in Tucson, and we're excited about the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
All right, Tanya Welch, Nolani Cornfield after the 68-61 win. Okay, so there's several things there. One, I have no understanding of the availability report. I mean, we all knew Tanya Welch had an injury. I mean, her ankle was messed up, but she was not on the injury report. Becky had come out the other day and said as far as she knew, she would be a go. So I guess if they thought she was going to play and she was good to go, then you don't necessarily have to have her on the injury report. But for then her not to play kind of looks suspicious to me. I don't know. But again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you have any understanding about how that works or what the prerequisites have to be. But yeah, if a player goes down in the game prior with an ankle injury, I would think they need to at least be listed on the report as one of the 3, either probable or questionable or good to go. I mean, one of the three, fine. I mean, put her on the report as good to go. I mean, or probable, because you can still hold her out if she goes through pregame warmups and she's not ready. But to me, I don't think that's right for her name not to have been on the injury report at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to find any kind of penalties, DK, because this is the first season they've done this.
See, we got to get somebody on from the league office to clarify
all I'm seeing is that there isn't defined penalties, is that there will potentially be issues with incorrect availability reports, especially the 90 minutes prior to tip. But it doesn't say. Like, the ACC has fines ranging from $50,000 to $200,000, but I'm not actually even seeing a monetary number that the Big 12 has put. It's so early. They have just, I think the ACC did it last year as well.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if you have a situation where a player has an injury maybe in the game prior, I think questionable, right? Or, game time decision is the best way to go about that, as opposed to just being left off.
I mean, yeah. I don't know how she was. We talked about that on the show yesterday. It's like, she's not even on their injury report, so she must be good to go, and then she doesn't play. I mean, to me, that's I don't understand how that the whole aspect of that works. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We'll ask our friend Kim Doss next time we get her on the show how that all works, because I'm sure Kim has probably a better idea of it than I do. Cameron Kitchens played 40 minutes. First start for Cameron Kitchen, and she played 40 minutes in the game. And, again, good young player, somebody that I think when you talk about, when I mentioned earlier, that right now there's not a lot of, quote, stars, All-Americans, all Big 12 players on either of these teams right now to make this, a rivalry about the players. But to me, Cameron Kitchen is a young player on this roster who you can be excited about. Denia Trammell, unfortunately, has not played a whole lot lately. She was another one of those young players. She only played 10 minutes in that game last night, scored 2 points. Cameron obviously can give you some scoring from the outside. Very good three-point shooter. Finished with 14 points, 5 of 12, knocked down 3 of 6 threes. She fouled out. So that is now 8 foul outs in the last 2 games. They had 5 players foul out at Iowa State. They had 3 players foul out last night. Cameron Kitchen, Samaya Sugapong. I don't know if you listened to the game last night. We have to go back. We'll have to go pull this. I should have marked where I heard it, but there was one foul that Samaya Sugapong made where you could, because of course Derek is right there on the floor, right next to the bench, and you could clearly hear Becky Burke saying, "Samaya, stupid." I mean, she was pissed about that foul by Samaya Sugapong. It was probably, I didn't watch the game, so I would imagine it was a simple reach-in type of foul, but you could clearly hear her in the background saying, dumb foul.
Yeah, the issue obviously is when you're only playing 2 players really off your bench.
Yeah.
Chol got 5 minutes, but it was really Denia Trammell, like you mentioned, and Molly Ladwiger, the only bench players they have in the rotation. All 5 starters, 30 or more minutes, taking care of the ball, number one, and staying on the court because you're not in foul trouble are so premium right now when your roster is shrunk and you got to make sure that you get those players, keep those players out there that do those 2 things. And as far as Cameron Kitchen goes, like you said, when you have a roster that's in flux, you just put it all together this right leading up into this offseason. Having freshmen like that come in, you want to make sure that you understand, number one, what it is they have that they're bringing to the table, DK, and number 2, what you can work on both throughout the remainder of the Big 12 and into the offseason to try to make those players into the best they possibly can be. As a freshman, to start out Coach Burke's tenure, trying to build her culture here in Tucson, you want to commit as much time and effort and energy into those players, who just got on campus, who are going to be here long term. Not that the senior transfers aren't big. They're big for this season, but moving forward, you definitely need to have a footprint. You need to have a foundation for what you're going to build upon. And Cameron Kitchen right now is chief among that.
All right, 520-848-1290. If you were at the game last night in Tempe, want to hear from you. I know a lot of you go up. I don't know if they had a bus. In the past, had they done buses for these games? I don't recall hearing anything about a bus to Tempe for last night's game. But if you were there, I want to hear your thoughts on what you saw. 520-848-1290. DK on the sports tip.
What would you grade Coach Burke's burn about having attendance at McHale?
That was pretty funny.
That was an A.
We get that every night. perfect, very short and to the point. We get that every night because we do here in Tucson. This great fan base comes up every night for this women's basketball program. 520-848-1290. When we come back, we'll give you our Westwood One Sports Top Plays. We flipped another one and got a win because that's what we're doing. We're just flipping and winning right now. We'll give you one for tonight as well. Cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Oracle and Pushview Lane for a collision clearing in Oro Valley. Heavy backups, Palo Verde and Irvington. Roadwork at the intersection. Slowdowns, Irvington and Palo Verde. Backups on southbound Alvernon at Irvington. Also busy travel on Keno Parkway near Ahaway. And for your weather, 42, the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, and 69 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu has 10 indulgencies for $3 or less. From the opulent new mini taco salad to the decadent beefy potato loaded griller. That much Luxe could have you expecting a maitre d' at the drive-thru. At participating Taco Bells, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Meet Lee Platz, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
As the new year begins, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing would like to thank you for allowing us to serve Tucson and the surrounding communities for the past 25 years. Whether it is a small water leak or a full air conditioning replacement, we do it all, big or small. For professional service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or make your appointment online at picturoxcooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing.
The American Red Cross is facing a severe blood shortage, and donors are needed right now to make sure life-saving care isn't delayed for accident victims, surgery patients, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and chronic blood disorders. The Red Cross blood supply has dropped about 35% in recent weeks. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation. Take action and help save lives.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by TaxSlayer. Start filing for free today at TaxSlayer.com. Could Bill Belichick be left out again next year? He'll be up against Mike Shanahan, Mike Holmgren, and Tom Coughlin, and now he could be up against Pete Carroll and Mike Tomlin. Belichick will absolutely get in at some point, but all these coaches are all Hall of Famers, and the voting process needs to be changed to get all of these guys in at some point. I'm Adam Abdallah.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report,
No big, just a loose gas cap.
and gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
So
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Our question of the day is up, as we'll talk some NBA in this segment here. And if you, in case you had not heard, Shams Charania, the insider for ESPN, reported earlier today that Carter Bryant is going to be in the dunk contest this year. And so he'll be, how many Wildcats have done that now? GW, you had the number, I believe.
I know at least 4. I mean, I know obviously Aaron Gordon participated a few times.
Right.
We saw.
Did he win
No,
one?
none
He
of
didn't
them
win
ever
either of
won.
them, no.
He was robbed
He should
twice.
have won.
He should have won twice.
Yeah, he should have won.
Zach LaVine. And then obviously Andre Iguodala, probably the biggest robbery in NBA dunk history. That was Nate Robinson, who took 14 attempts on his finals to get a 50. 14 attempts for a 50, and that's why Andre Iguodala lost. I know Chase Budinger participated. I'm not sure if guys like Sean Elliott or, I don't know, Chris Mills, like those guys in the 80s and 90s did, but I know those guys, 4 guys for sure. I'd have to look it up.
All right, so we'll have Carter in the dunk contest. So we've got a question of the day now out on that. What is the most likely thing to happen to Carter Bryant in the dunk contest? And I'm giving you 4 choices on this right here. What is the most likely thing to happen to him? Is he most likely to miss multiple dunks? Is he most likely to not make the semifinals? Is he most likely to get a 50 on a dunk? Or is he most likely to win the whole thing, win the slam dunk title? Head on over right now, Wildcats Radio, Wildcats 1290, our Twitter page at Wildcats 1290, and you can vote in that right now. Early on, the winner at the moment, or the leader in the clubhouse at the moment, is he will get a 50. So I imagine there's 5 judges, obviously. everybody getting 10.
Bro, they've changed the rules literally every year for like 15 consecutive years, so I have no idea. All I know is that Jackson Hayes and Carter
So I
Bryant.
should have just put perfect dunk because who knows how many judges.
There is one I missed. Richard Jefferson did also participate in the 2003 slam dunk contest. That's the one that Jason Richardson won.
Okay. So head on over right now and get in on that poll at Wildcats 1290, our Twitter page. All right, Westwood One Sports Top Play time, as we like to bet a little bit on this show. And so yesterday, again, we've been flipping whatever they tell us because, we lost a lot of money over the summer and into the fall with baseball and football and whatever not.
DK's not happy with the robots right now.
I'm not happy with the robots or the whatever they call the algorithm or whatever.
It's just a fancy way to say robot.
The thing that makes that spews out what the plays are. Anyway, so whatever they tell us to do, we flip that. So yesterday they told us, J-Dub, you weren't here. They last night the Bulls played the Pacers. Pacers obviously are not very good. They've got a lot of injuries this year. Have they even won 10 games yet? Have they finally got?
I think they've won like 6 out of their last 10.
Oh, okay. So they're starting to turn things around. They're not going to make the playoffs, but at least they're playing better. That's good.
They got
are now
pride.
12-36 on the season. Pascual Siakam. The play last night was, according to Westwood One Sports, was to take the over 31.5 combined points and rebounds for Pascual Siakam. That was the play. That's what they told us. So, of course, we flipped that, and we took the under 31.5 points plus rebounds on Pascual Siakam. He scored 20 points and grabbed just 3 rebounds. So 20 plus 3, if my UI math is treating me right today, is 23. So we hit on the under at minus 119 on Pascual Siakam being plus points plus rebounds last night. So that's 2 NBA picks in a row because the day before we they told us to take the Thunder and lay the 14 on the Pelicans. We took the Pelicans plus the 14.5 and the Thunder only won by 9. So we've gotten 2 in a row flips right this week. So let's see what they tell us to do today.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the books at Westwood One Sports. The defending champion OKC Thunder take on the T-Wolves for a Western Conference Finals rematch, and I'm expecting another defensive battle. Both of their previous 2 meetings have gone under the total. It's 2 of the top 6 defenses in the NBA, and Minnesota's offense has struggled mightily, ranking 27th in offensive efficiency in their last 5 games. Take the under and watch the defenses shine. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so that's your marquee game in the league tonight in the association, as they like to say. It's on Prime Video. If you have that, you can watch it. Tip off at 7:30 tonight at the Target Center in Minneapolis. Thunder and Timberwolves. The over-under on that game is 228.5. 2 very good defensive teams. So they say take the under. So, of course, we're going to flip that, and we'll take the over. 228.5 points tonight. Thunder and T-Wolves. Anything exciting you like about that game right there, J-Dub?
Well, I mean, it's the issue with the T-Wolves is they've had some weird injuries, obviously, to their star player primarily. So it's hard even to know. Like, Mike Conley's out right now for them.
Right.
And on the other side, Alex Caruso, one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, is also out. So I think it's impossible right now to slow down the Oklahoma City Thunder. The only games I've seen them fail to score 115 or so is when they themselves are throwing the ball over the court and having a ton of turnovers. So, yeah, I think there's definitely Minnesota, was known as maybe the best defensive team in the NBA a couple of years back. They've kind of slid down off of that a little bit. Obviously, they still have the shot blocking. They still have some good perimeter defenders. But I don't know how you slow down Oklahoma City. They have too many threats out there. So, yeah, I could definitely see that going over.
I will ask you, last night, obviously, the Cavaliers put an absolute whooping on the Lakers in LeBron James's latest return to his hometown.
Finale?
But I don't know if you saw the end. You see the end of the game?
I did not.
When Bronny, scored. I forget how many points he scored. Let me pull up the box score here. But Bronny, went to town at the end of the game, and the crowd was loving it.
He's from there, right?
He was born in Akron.
Yeah.
So they love Bronny. I mean, the crowd loves Bronny. He grew up in the, going around the building.
Of course.
Bronny scored 8 points in 8 minutes. 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from 3. I mean, it was awesome. It was he came in, immediately got a steal and a breakaway dunk, and then hit 2 threes. I mean, it was perfect. A perfect way to end a bad night for the Lakers was having Bronny score 8 points and see the Cavaliers crowd going crazy for him. That was so cool. So cool. But the question I asked Dragon Ball yesterday, and I'll ask you this, do you believe that was LeBron James's last game in Cleveland?
I don't want it to be. It might have been LeBron James's last game in Cleveland in a Lakers uniform. But he famously spends $1 million a year. That was the story 20 years ago. $1 million a year on his health and longevity. Yeah, and so if anybody could play until he's 50, it's LeBron. The question is, he's already the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Does the roster he's currently on have a chance to cut down the nets and win 4 games in the NBA Finals? I think that's the determining factor in how long he prolongs his career, and just for the love of the game. So I think LeBron is definitely a step slower even than he was last year. But do I think he will play next year is the question. Right now, I don't think there are any signs pointing to LeBron retiring until I heard it from his mouth. I just think of LeBron as the forever athlete. He's just the perfect specimen.
He's the Tom Brady of basketball.
Well, even more so because Tom Brady's not 6'9", 250 and runs like a gazelle, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just built perfectly. He's taking great care of his body. He's going to play as long as he wants to play. I think in LA, you've got, especially if Austin Reeves doesn't get traded at the trade deadline, there's Austin and Luka are kind of the future of that team as far as playmakers go. Both are 25-point, 10-assist guys right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron okays a deal, maybe to some other contending team. But I don't know that he'll be back in a Lakers uniform to Cleveland. I hope he plays as long as he wants to play. I hope it's not outside pressures. You're not what you were 15 years ago. Of course he's not. But as long as he can contribute to a team, and especially imparting any wisdom on any young small forward / power forwards that are in the franchise, he's definitely a plus to any locker room and any court. He just can't play back-to-backs. He's never going to be able to run like he used to. So it's definitely getting closer to the end than it's ever been.
All right. Coming up in the next hour, we talked a lot about Dillon Brooks yesterday on the show. And one of the things I said, if you weren't with us, is that, look, Dillon Brooks has added a ton defensively to this Phoenix Suns team this year. But we've got to be able to control the chaos, okay? Because we love the edge. We love the edge. If you're a Suns fan and he's got your uniform on right now, you love the edge that he's bringing, but he's got to be able to control that, okay? We can't have these stupid flagrants start to pile up with Dillon Brooks. On the next side, what Charles Barkley had to say on NBA Inside. What's the
I think it's still
show?
Inside the NBA.
Inside the NBA. Thank you. What Charles Barkley had to say on Inside the NBA last night about Dillon Brooks. Also, in the next hour, we got Barkley's just talking about everything. I don't know if you heard what he said about your Arizona Wildcats. We'll play that for you as well. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision Keno and Ajo and Keno, roadwork and a collision at the intersection. Expect slowing. Also, crash occurred westbound I-10 right between 22nd Street and Congress, and westbound I-10 backups on westbound I-10 approaching Congress. 42 the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, and 67 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com. Paid for by Stellus Pharma.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana. We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things, like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that. You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest. For a year.
365 days. 12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks. He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun. I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new? Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at AlaskanAC.com.
Progressive Insurance knows pets, and one of the biggest differences between people and pets is that we don't eat things off the floor. But dogs definitely will, and it makes them so happy, no matter what it looks like, smells like, or what state of decomposition it's in. We all want to go through life that carefree, and that's also why you should get Progressive Pet Insurance, because they eat things off the floor. So protect your pet from all the questionable life decisions they make. You know where they drink from when you're gone, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Okay, get this. Now at Wendy's, you get to go biggie with new Biggie deals. That means going biggie with the $4 Biggie Bites, biggier with the $6 Biggie Bag, or biggiest with an $8 Biggie Bundle. So now you can choose and customize your Biggie deal. As you should. Sorry, I get fired up when I'm talking deals. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Start the new year in a new Buick or GMC and save big. Now at Royal Buick GMC. Lease the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Edition for $277 per month for 24 months. Upgrade the family to a new 25 Buick Enclave for $375 a month for 24 months. Or go electric in the 2026 GMC Hummer EV pickup for $760 a month for 36 months. OAC must lease with GM Financial. No security deposit. Lease mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. See dealer for details. G9196 3499 due at signing. B34186 4500 due at signing. G9192 6000 due at signing. Offers end 2/2/26. New Year's savings won't last. Hurry in and save now at Royal Buick GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
For your big game party, you better pop in to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile. Ask our helpful guides for a recommendation to add some spirits and wine to your beverage station. Discover something new and let the fun begin. Come on down to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win.
Drink responsibly, B21. What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Just how good is Dylan Brooks playing right now for your Phoenix Suns?
Smart driving. Blocked away by Dunn. Triggers a break. Booker pulls for three. Won't get it. Offensive rebound. Back to Brooks. Pull for three. Boom! Brooks and James going chest to chest. Now James taking exception. So here, watch for the closeout.
Oh, he gets them. He's still a shooter.
Well, he came across with the arm.
That's right, and he tags him. Now, is it enough for them to say it was caused a foul?
Dylan Brooks doing what he does, scoring and getting people agitated out on the floor this season in his first year for the Phoenix Suns. Former second-round pick, a guy that was picked near the bottom of the second round, but has made a pretty solid career for himself in the NBA. He's averaged 21 points this season, 4 rebounds, but it's really what he's done at the defensive end of the floor that has propelled this Phoenix Suns team, which is going to host the best team in the East tonight. It still boggles my mind that I'm saying Detroit Pistons, best team in the East, considering where they were 2 seasons ago. But here we are, 34-11 for the Pistons. 28-19 for your Suns. They're going to host the Pistons tonight. And part of the major reason that this team is where it is, 9 games above 500, is what Dylan Brooks has added to this team this year. A team that most people thought was going nowhere at the beginning of the year. Charles Barkley, Arizona resident, lives up in the Valley, former Phoenix Suns great. Here's what he said. I think this was last night on Inside the NBA. Here's what he said about Dylan Brooks when they were talking. The segment was about who they think should be all-star reserves this season.
Oof. The one guy that I'm going to war for is Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I saw him on your list.
I think Dylan Brooks deserves to be an all-star. In Phoenix, I'm giving this guy his flowers. This guy, everybody thought this was going to be a bad year for my Suns.
And then when Jalen Green not playing.
Jalen Green has only played in 4 games.
And he has stepped up.
And this guy here, and I made the comparison. First of all, he's averaging almost 20 points a game. They got rid of KD and Bradley Beal. They got a better record than they had without those 2 guys. He's the only difference in the team. You got to give him his flowers. And I'm going to tell you what I compare it to.
What?
Draymond Green. What Draymond did for the Warriors, it's not on the stat sheet. But Draymond made a difference for the Warriors.
I would have to agree with you that Dylan Brooks is playing all-star caliber basketball. And he has been a difference maker. And it also shows when he left Memphis how they kind of dismantled and his contribution wasn't there. But I would not say he's more of an all-star this year than LeBron. Yeah. That's what I would say.
And let me throw this at you. You're okay having 2 Suns and only 1 Thunder?
The second best Thunder been out all year. Jalen's been out all year.
Talking about Chet Holmgren.
No, Ernie. Ernie, no disrespect to Chet Holmgren. I just think what Dylan Brooks has did for my Suns, he's a culture setter. And listen, Chet Holmgren has been good. No question. Well, because and Shea's been just on a whole nother planet. But no, I'm going to go with Dylan Brooks. And I'll be honest with you. I just think what he brings to the table, you cannot measure.
All right, so Charles believes Dylan Brooks should be a all-star reserve for the Western Conference. Did you? First of all, can somebody tell Shaq to quit crinkling his scripts by his mic when other people are talking?
He's a showman.
Yeah, exactly. But that was funny when Ernie said Chet Holmgren and Shaq said no, Ernie.
Come on, Ernie.
This might be a question of the day tomorrow? Is Dillon Brooks an all-star? I'll defer to you, Mr. J.W. Madden.
Okay, I'll say two things. Number one, there is nobody in the NBA currently who wants to win and get under people's skin as much as Dillon Brooks. The biggest thing he brings to the Suns this year, he brought to Memphis and obviously to Houston as well, and another stop, is just that competitive drive, DK. I mean, if you watch him out on the court, since he was at Oregon, his hair's on fire every single possession, max effort, no matter what. There's no doubt that he's one of the top 25 defensive players in the NBA, has always been that way. What I will say about his offense, he's shooting a career-high 44% this season in his 9 seasons.
Right.
44% is his career high. Among the 20-point scorers currently in the NBA, that's the second worst field goal percentage of all the 29 players in the NBA who average 20 or more points. The only player that shoots worse is 55-year-old James Harden. So, is he an efficient offensive player? No. He's a very streaky offensive player. You're just as likely to get 8 for 10 from him as you will get 2 for 10 from him. But what he brings, the intangibles, what he brings to the locker room, the desire, the competitive effort, whatever kind of cliches you want to throw out there, there's no doubt that infectiousness has spread throughout the Suns locker room. Guys are playing harder than maybe they did last year. So to that end, I mean, we know about most improved player is an award, but most improved locker room based on adding a player has to go to Dillon Brooks this season. What was their win total? 32 on the season before the season started. They're going to blow way past that. They're definitely contenders for the playoff as long as Booker gets back on the court and is relatively healthy. I mean, I think right now Dillon Brooks is definitely in the conversation for being an all-star. I just don't necessarily – I know that his numbers from the field right now as far as scoring go, DK, is more of a necessity thing because without Jalen Green as the number 2 guy out there on the court, he's only played in 3 games. Dillon Brooks is being asked to shoot up a lot of shots. I don't know if that efficiency will last long-term because he's never been an efficient offensive player. As I just said, 9 years, 44% from the field is his career high. But everything else he brings, defense, I could do without the antics. I don't like instigators. I don't like people who go into an NBA game knowing that they're going to instigate for 48 minutes, that that's their job and that's their goal. That's not my thing. But what he brings as far as competitiveness, I mean, there's no question he's been a huge difference maker for this Suns team this year.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Do you believe Dillon Brooks is an all-star reserve? And you heard the debate there also turn to LeBron. We'll get into that coming up in our next segment. We'll let you hear from Dillon Brooks because he was asked about that today at Shoot-Around about what Charles Barkley said last night on Inside the NBA. We'll let you hear what Dillon had to say in reaction to that. He's shooting more free throws. He's just scoring more. He's never averaged over 20 points. But he's shooting more free throws as well.
So last year with Houston, he played 31.8 minutes a game. He averaged 12 field goal attempts a game. This year, he's playing less minutes, 31 minutes a game, and he's averaging 17 field goal attempts. So he's a full 5 field goal attempts more per game this year than last year. So volume is definitely way up. And again, the Suns need him. He's a veteran. He has the confidence, DK, to shoot threes. I mean, he's never lacked in that. I mean, he's shot basically 5 threes a game since he came into the league. The question is, how is that efficiency relative to the Suns' success? And that's the big cog he needs to be. If he's asked to be the number 2 scorer when D-Book is out there, he has to do that on some level of efficiency night in, night out. If it's hit and miss, that's the Suns' win-loss record, DK. I mean, if your second-best scorer is not an efficient scorer, it's tough to be consistent winning games.
520-848-1290 if you want to get in on that conversation. Dillon Brooks, is he an all-star? Do you believe he should be an all-star? We'll ask another question surrounding that in the next segment as well. All right, today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. There's a lot happening around the country right now. One of the things we like to do is try to keep you informed of things that are affecting you. Tomorrow is being billed as a national protest day here in the United States. A lot of folks obviously not happy with some of the things that are happening with federal law enforcement in certain American cities, and it it is affecting us here in Tucson. There are going to be a ton of schools closed tomorrow. There are going to be a ton of businesses closed tomorrow. We are inviting back Cricket now because Cricket has a full list of some of those closures that are taking place here in southern Arizona tomorrow. Cricket, what do we have?
Well, we have some confirmed school closures like Drachman K through 8, Gale Elementary, McCorkle Academy of Excellence, the Monzo Elementary, Myers Ganung Elementary, Palo Verde High, Pister Middle School, Pueblo High, Roskridge Bilingual, Saguaro High, Seacrest Middle, Tucson High, University High, and Van Buskirk Elementary. Confirmed closures for tomorrow. And that list just keeps getting longer and longer. So if you've got kids in school, double check. Schools confirmed to be open tomorrow. All the schools in Amphi District, all the schools in Flowing Wells, Marana, Sarita, Vale, and Sunnyside school districts are guaranteed to be open tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a vigil, I guess we'll call it, 7:15 tomorrow morning, right outside the Tucson chapter of Veterans for Peace, 6th Avenue, 44th Street at the VA, and 2 p.m. tomorrow. This is going to be, I think, a big one, a big rally outside the federal building tomorrow, 2 p.m., 300 West Congress, downtown Tucson. There's probably going to be a traffic mess tomorrow there.
So obviously you'll have more on that in the morning as it relates to that. We'll if things carry into afternoon, we'll be keeping you abreast of if you're driving in and out places maybe to try to avoid if there's going to be large throngs of people in certain areas of the city. We want to make sure that you're all up to date on everything that's happening in terms of how to get around, how safely to get around for what is being deemed as a national day of protest tomorrow here, and there will be things happening here in southern Arizona. Cricket, we always appreciate you keeping us up to date on everything that's happening in that respect.
Are you guys working tomorrow? Are you guys going to come in? Or like, no work, no school, no shopping. I'm not coming
now
in.
that you bring that up, it's like, well, maybe we need to take a day off tomorrow. I wouldn't mind an extra day to prepare because we got an early day on the Saturday morning.
You do,
so,
yes.
if I could get different, because last weekend I didn't get out of here until 1:15. I turned around, came back at 8 a.m. So if I could get out of here before that late and have be a little bit more fresh for our Saturday morning show,
why not?
That would not be a bad idea. So, now you're putting ideas
Bad
in my
ideas?
head. You're putting bad ideas in my head, Cricket. Maybe I'm going to shut the whole staff down tomorrow.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
I think we'll be
Exactly.
here.
No,
Well, at least I will.
I'll be here. I'll be
Yeah.
working. You know me. I'm a workaholic.
You are.
All right. She's now getting you home tonight safely, as she does every 20 minutes on the 5s with traffic and weather.
And from your AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Campbell near Fort Lowell. Collision occurred there on Campbell north of Fort Lowell. Also crashed westbound I-10 approaching Congress. There are westbound I-10 backups approaching Congress. Also backups from the northbound I-19 merge onto westbound I-10. Police activity in the area on River Road near Hacienda del Sol. And I'm Cricket, and your weather, by the way, 42 the overnight low, sunny 73 tomorrow, 66 now, and that's your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
For your big game party, you better pop in to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win. We've got thousands of bottles down every aisle, and prices so low they're gonna make you smile. Ask our helpful guides for a recommendation to add some spirits and wine to your beverage station. Discover something new and let the fun begin. Come on down to Total Wine and More for a guaranteed win.
Drink responsibly, B21. What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, Eugene, what's with the giant pile of scratcher tickets?
Just my next greatest idea ever.
Playing the lottery?
That's right, Doug. With all my winnings, I can enroll in the UberTube car repair classes and finally fix your car right. No more disasters, Doug. Your luck is about to change.
Well, then keep on scratching, Eugene.
Good luck, Eugene. But if you need a sure thing for your next set of tires or automotive repair, check out Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. With more than 35 Top Shop awards and our Partners Network 3-year nationwide warranty, you can count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care.
And check out this month's special savings.
You'll find an entire page of them online at jackfurriers.com. Savings on tires, oil changes, batteries, wheel alignments, and more.
So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by any of our 14 area locations.
Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, here to get you there.
They say time flies like a sparrow.
And fruit flies like a banana.
We're off to a great start.
If you two don't mind, I'd like to tell our customers about something they won't do in 2026.
I'm not doing a lot of things.
Like changing your socks.
Guys, I'm talking about no payments or interest for a full year on a new system.
Oh, people are going to like that.
You should tell them.
As I was saying, Alaskan AC can install a brand new heating and air system and have no payments or interest for a year.
365 days.
12 months.
You'll get all the comfort, and you won't write a check for a whole year.
Ha! Ron still writes checks.
He's so old, the first picture of him was an oil painting.
You guys having fun?
I never have fun.
I'm having a little fun.
This is big. With approved credit, get a spanking new furnace and AC system. No payments or interest for a year.
Spanking new?
Ron talks old-timey.
Schedule your appointment today, whenever you want, online at alaskanac.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The United States soccer team has kicked off this year with dominant victories in 2 friendly matches. Over the weekend, they routed Paraguay 6-0, and then on Tuesday, they grabbed a 5-0 win over Chile. American star Trinity Rodman made her highly anticipated return to national team action, scoring second-half goals in both of the friendlies. Head coach Emma Hayes has been known for her drastic lineup changes between exhibitions, and she used an entirely different starting 11 in the second match.
For me, it's like consistency in what we're looking for. And the way that we coach the players is that it doesn't matter who's got the crest on, you know what is expected in that role.
Westwood One is an audio partner of U.S. Soccer and will have full coverage of the team's next match against Argentina on March 1st in the She Believes Cup. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Maggie Gray on Westwood.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
The cost of mesothelioma treatments can exceed $400,000, and families often face losing their homes and life savings just to pay the bill. The Rights and Claims Department of Flint Cooper has helped victims secure financial support they need to pay for their care and ensure their family's future. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma and don't have legal representation, call Flint Cooper now at 800-606-8169. Time is running out for you to file a claim, so don't wait. Call 800-606-8169 for a free consultation.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip. Full show for you again tomorrow on a Friday. We will be here. Well, unless, it gets really crazy. I mean, the only way we wouldn't be, and look, we're a news organization. So even if it did get really crazy, we would try to be here to walk you through the craziness because that's what we're all about. So keep it tuned right here for all your coverage tomorrow. Hopefully, mostly sports, but if we have to get into what's happening around the city, that is first and foremost what we'll do to make sure that you have all the information that you need to know. All right. I want to reset what Charles Barkley said in the last segment about Dylan Brooks, the newest Phoenix Sun, who's having a really, really great, I think this is his ninth year in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, ninth season.
Yeah, 2017, I think, was his first year.
Here's what Chuck said again.
Oof. The one guy that I'm going to war for is Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I saw him on your list.
I think Dylan Brooks deserves to be an all-star. You know, in Phoenix, I'm giving this guy his flowers. This guy.
And Shaq's sprinkling papers.
Okay, everybody thought this was going to be a bad year for my Suns.
And then when Jalen Green not playing.
Jalen Green has only played in 4 games.
And he has stepped up.
And this guy here, and I made the comparison. First of all, he's averaging almost 20 points a game. They got rid of KD and Bradley Beal. They got a better record than they had without those two guys. He's the only difference in the team. You got to give him his flowers. And I'm going to tell you what I compare it to.
What?
Draymond Green.
What'd you think of that right there, J-Dub, the comparison to Draymond Green?
Well, I mean, as far as opponents' fan bases who hate them, yeah, they're the same guy. But no, I mean, I think people miss the fact that Draymond Green has been the best defender in the NBA for the better part of the last 15 years. I mean, you can argue other guys like maybe even Giannis, but or Rudy Gobert, whatever. But Draymond Green has been one of the 3 best defenders in the NBA, we'll put it that way, every year for the past 15 years. And I think Dylan Brooks' antics take some of the spotlight away from his defensive prowess. That's the one thing I wish he would understand, is that the more cameras on him when he's trying to, poke the bear, as he said, try to get underneath guys like LeBron James' skin, the less people will actually pay attention to what benefits he brings as a basketball player in a jersey. So I don't know. The thing about Draymond is he could guard 1 through 5. So if he got switched off, he could body up a bigger player and oftentimes get leverage on them because he's an incredibly intelligent defensive player. I think Dylan Brooks is just more hustle. He's trying to outwork you, trying to get over screens, fight over everything. He's a very, very good defender. I would say Dylan Brooks' skills set lies more in the perimeter side, and Draymond Green's is just basically everywhere all over the court.
And you mentioned LeBron, and they mentioned LeBron. Would you vote him in over LeBron James?
How many games? I mean, I have to look to see how many. It would be a farewell vote, right?
For LeBron?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Like we said, we don't know if this is farewell yet.
But that's what I mean is that were he to get the nod, I don't know that his
It's because he's LeBron.
It's because, of course. Yeah,
right.
Of course. Let's see how many games has LeBron. LeBron has played 29 games. So basically, Luka's played 38. 46, I think, is the total number that they've played. So basically 2/3 of their games. He's averaging 22, 5, and 6. So, 22, 6, and 7. 6 rebounds, 7 assists. So that's typical LeBron numbers. I mean, it would have been up in the 30 range when he was in his mid-20s. I mean, those numbers, if you look at his flat numbers, DK, are better than Dylan Brooks' numbers, right? So there's your argument. But I don't know, man. I mean, as far as what you've done to help your team win games.
And to me, that's the separator.
Yeah. And here's the other thing is that when will Dylan Brooks ever be in the conversation
For
an all-star
again.
nod?
Yeah.
Because he's in his 9th year. He's not getting younger.
Yeah.
And this may be the prime opportunity. And I'm not trying to give Dylan Brooks a consolation prize. You get an all-star vote, or you get an all-star vote, nothing like that. But, I mean, I think comparing the two players side by side, LeBron averages more points, more assists, so forth. If you're going to ask who the players, I mean, who even picks the reserves? Is it the coaching staff that gets?
I think it's the coaches.
And you can't do 2 years in a row, so it would be the team with the best record in the West, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's really what it boils down to is Is there injuries? Maybe they both make it. But if it's a question between is it LeBron or Dylan Brooks, I think LeBron's going to be the one they pick.
Interesting. All right. Dylan Brooks was asked about that, what Chuck said, what Charles Barkley said at shoot-around earlier today. Let's hear what Dylan Brooks had. He's not a very bombastic speaker, but he did talk about it.
Feels great. I love watching, that segment of basketball with Shaq, Charles, Kenny. They're humorous, they're fun, they get people involved. So, and then Chuck, the legend, Hall of Famer. So to hear him, say my name and see the hard work I paid off right now is good.
Defensive success this year of the team. What do you think, how much of the ball pressure, how much of that has been kind of the key ingredient to you guys?
It's pretty like a top priority of ours, like to speed up teams, made them, get lower in the shot clock, made them think faster, and then the physicality comes with that as well, with hitting the basketball. It is a big part of our defense and what makes us really good.
And how much of that has been Goody, just kind of getting the guys from like 90%?
Oh, for sure. Goody, Ryan, they're the catalyst, to our defense early on with, full court pressure and, housing, their guards, so they gotta, bring it up without just, being calm and collect, and we need it every game.
He is exactly. It's interesting that Charles Barkley made the comparison to Draymond because he's almost the antithesis in terms of demeanor of Draymond Green. I mean, Draymond is that bombastic personality who gets under your skin, but also will talk about getting under your skin, whereas Dylan Brooks is not that. He's not that at all. He's just this kind of quiet kind of kid, unassuming. He's not that person now. Dylan Brooks is not going to have his own podcast like Draymond Green. That's not who he is. So I think it's interesting, the comparison of the two in terms of style of play, in terms of defensively, in terms of getting under your skin, but two very different personalities.
Also, on a side note, as a person who has to cut Sun's audio very often, in fact, every day, DK, I will say this. For some reason this year, they've decided that every single press conference will go on with a full court scrimmage 5 feet away from them. So that audio you heard, if you couldn't hear Dylan Brooks' soft-spoken nature off the court, in between the squeaks of shoes and bouncing of balls, that's the common. They want that atmospheric noise going on, but half of the pressers I try to pull from them, it's just that. You can't even barely hear the answers.
You can hardly hear.
That's not great. It's not great for our perspective.
520-848-1290. Let's hear from our guy, Paul in Phoenix. Paul, you're on DK on the Sports Tip Wildcats Radio 1290.
Okay, David, real quick. Back in the day when believe it or not, I know Paul in Phoenix, and I'm the old guy now, but I used to play rec ball with my buddies, and we were all married guys, and I remember looking at the guys, and I'd say, guys, and I was the big instigator. I go, guys, I said, we're playing a zone, right? And they go, yeah. I was okay. Here's what we do. Anybody who goes through the key, they get grabbed or they get pushed as they're going through the key. Don't let them get through the key without bumping them. It was just how, and they look at me like, Paul, knock it off. I said, no, you got to do it. Just bump them. Put them off their marks. It's funny. The referees won't call it because they're looking at the ball. They're not looking at us bumping people down below. But anyway, the real reason I was calling you though is I may have missed you answering my a text I sent late last night. So Dylan Brooks, with the technical situation,
right.
Do you guys know what the rule is? So he has to get to what is it, 16 or 20 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's 16. Right. So so they rescinded the one from the other day, so he's back at 15.
Okay, so when he gets to 16, then he gets suspended, right?
For one game, yeah. It's usually the game following.
Okay, so he's got it. He does. So am I right or wrong? Is he planning on saying, okay, I know we're playing a useless team after Detroit or after whatever. Do I get it then?
Wait. After Detroit, they're playing the Cavs. That's not a useless team.
That's not a useless. Okay, so go to another team. But what I'm saying is, does he get it and then know that he's going to get suspended the next game? They tell him, hey, do it. Jalen Green's back. He's healthy. Get it out of the way. Does it go back to zero? Does the clock start over again?
No, it's every two.
It's every 2, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Every
16,
two.
it's 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. After you get your 16th, every 2 technical fouls from that
Yeah,
point
it's another
forward
game,
is a
yeah.
suspension.
Another game.
Oh, see, I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, and
It
does it
resets-
start over in the playoffs?
Yes, it resets for the postseason. You get 7. Starting with game 1 of the postseason, you get 7 technicals, and then it's the same rules.
Okay, forget it then. He can't get any technicals. I thought he
Now,
was
hey,
back
if
to
he
zero.
wants to
Like,
get if he wants to get a technical tonight and sit out the Cavs game on Friday night, I'm okay with that as a Cavs fan.
hey, and I agree with Chuck. He needs to be. All respect to Devin Booker, okay, but he needs to be. Dylan needs to be an All-Star and represent the Suns and be the only Suns player in the All-Star game or All-Star, whatever the All-Star thing is going to be.
Well,
you
I
guys
think
did hear
Booker's
about the
gonna.
All-Star.
Was Booker going to be in? You think? Will Booker be in?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I don't know. It's
Booker
close.
gets no respect.
No respect. But you guys heard about the structure this year of the All-Star game?
I don't know that I have.
Okay, well, we got to
There's 3
research
teams, right?
it. 3 teams.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
It's a round robin thing.
Ah,
Like, really? Then they're going to introduce a bunch of guys on unicycles and all that stuff. Like, come on, give me a break. Hey, last but not least, I'm kind of glad we're not talking about transfer portal for football right now. This is good. This is a cleansing period for all of us, right? So let's let that go.
Well, I still got to do finish up my defensive analysis from last year, so I'm gonna probably throw that out tomorrow. But
okay, good. I'll listen. But and then big game on Saturday. I know you're not coming up here for the big game, but I won't be there. But I'll be definitely watching. And more important, I've got a granddaughter game at 11:15 in the morning.
There you go.
And she is, as a third grader, she's something else. She put up 14 points the other day in a game, and so she was all over it. It was funny. It was funny. So anyway, hey, you guys bear down. Thanks again for taking my call.
Absolutely, Paul. Thank
Talk to you
you
later.
for your
Bear down,
question.
Paul.
I'm glad you called because I was actually going to get to his question there about the foul situation and how that works before we wrapped up this segment. All right, so the Suns and the Pistons tonight. It's the first night of a back-to-back for your Suns, who have to play none other than the Cavs. I probably didn't think this out very well because I probably should have done the show from Phoenix tomorrow. Then I could have gone to the Cavs-Suns game tomorrow night. Then I could have waken up already in Phoenix and gone to the U of A ASU game on Saturday morning. I clearly did not think this out very well because that could have been a really cool 2 days for me.
If only there was an eclipse up there this weekend, you would have been there.
Right. Exactly. All right, one segment left to go. We'll give you our Casino del Sol replay coming up and have just a little bit more for you. DK on the sports tip. We had a chance earlier to talk with Tim Healy, and you'll hear what Tim Healy had to say about the Sun Devils, the current state of the Sun Devils, and the way that Bobby Hurley read them out after their loss a couple of Saturdays at home against the West Virginia Mountaineers. That's straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Westbound I-10 approaching Congress. Crash occurred there. There are backups on westbound I-10 as you approach and pass the I-10, I-19 junction. Even backups for the northbound I-19 merge onto westbound I-10. Collision Campbell north of Fort Lowell. Police activity on River Road near Hacienda del Sol. 42 the overnight low, sunny, 73 tomorrow, and 66 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt. Carl Higbie, Rob Finnerty, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp, and they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. It's for real news, for real people. Make the switch today.
Oh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed. Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
En garde! Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Robinhood, your money, your move. After LeBron James teared up in his tribute video in Cleveland last night, there is no doubt in my mind that we are getting a LeBron James farewell tour next season. After his reception, maybe that tour takes place in Cleveland. Playing in front of his home fans for his final season would be the Hollywood ending that LeBron may be looking for. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in on this program today. We'll be back with you tomorrow, full show. 3 to 6. So join us for that as we continue to get you set for Arizona and Arizona State coming up on Saturday up in Tempe. Noon start time on that game. Of course, we'll have everything, all your coverage, beginning at 8:30 in the morning. Another early call coming up for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona game day. Wildcats looking to become the first 22-0 team in the history of the program. That would definitely be something to see, something to write home about.
There would have been some, if not for Mike Montgomery.
Yeah.
Seemed like there were some years there in the late 80s, early 90s where Arizona could beat every single team until they saw Stanford midway through, January, February, and then they would drop one of those.
So we've been talking about what Charles Barkley said about Dylan Brooks. That's not the only thing that Charles Barkley said this week. Get a load of this other thing that he said when talking about college basketball on Inside the NBA this week.
I tell you, man, I've been watching these games very closely because
you get paid to.
No, it's starting to get serious because I'm getting ready to take our hiatus because I've been watching more college basketball. And as I call March Madness, it's the Arizona Invitational, just for the record. That's what March Madness is going to be. It's going to be the Arizona Invitational.
Better.
If Shaq's not like crinkling papers, he's coughing while Chuck talks there. So Charles Barkley going all in on your Arizona Wildcats, saying that the NCAA tournament is going to be the Arizona Invitational. How about that right there from Charles Barkley? I don't know if that's good luck or bad luck. Straight up.
Well,
he said that.
I will say this. I think Charles Barkley, when he sees the U of A play, sees his own era of NBA basketball because there's no team in the country in recent memory that's played 80s, 90s style NBA basketball like the Arizona Wildcats do in college this year, running everything through the post, dominating second in the nation in points in the paint. So, yeah, I could definitely see. But my question is, how many times has Charles Barkley not bet Arizona would win? In my recent memory, I'd have to look it up, but it seems like Charles, ever since he took up permanent residence in Phoenix, has been all over the Arizona Wildcats. And many times over the last 10, 15 years, he's thought that they had a chance to cut the nets down. But, I mean, there's no doubt that his style is very similar. You might think of Charles Barkley in a Phoenix Suns jersey shooting a lot of threes, but that's not what I remember. I remember him dominating from 14 feet it in. So I'm sure. And as far as Shaq's snide little cough there, people should remember that the reason Shaq got on the cover of Sports Illustrated the first time is because they knocked off Arizona and Baton Rouge. The follow-up trip the next year, Shaq was much ballyhooed, and that front line and Coach Olson put all of his defensive attention with that Tucson Skyline or whatever they called them to slowing down Shaq, and they did just that. It was his worst game of his sophomore year. So Shaq had some connectivity with Arizona as well. But, yeah, I think Charles is right in that I don't know that any team is the undisputed favorite because it takes a lot of luck. The draw has a lot to do with it. What kind of officiating you get in your first few rounds has a lot to do with it. But there's no doubt that this Arizona team, as Charles Barkley sees, is built for that, built to win close games in March because they can basically take down any style that you throw at them.
Built for it. Is that what Tommy likes to say? We're built for it.
I've heard him say that a few times, yes.
We're built for it. 21-0 with a chance to make history. Tommy Lloyd today talked about his team and his program and how they are approaching what they are currently doing on the national basketball landscape.
I don't even know the difference between best start and consecutive wins, so I'm confused at that one, and I don't want to make light of your question. Obviously, I'm excited we got off to a good start, but we're on a much bigger mission than getting off to a good start. So, you know what? The next game happens to be at Arizona State. It's been set that way all year. So next up, and I'm looking forward to practice today, and hopefully today's practice leads to a good practice tomorrow, which hopefully leads to a good performance on Saturday. Honestly, we talk nothing about streaks, nothing about winning streaks. We just talk about preparing to win the next game, and it's honestly that simple. And I know that may not give you the quotables you're looking for, and to be honest with you, Nate knows better than to come down and tell me we're on the verge of this or verge of that, because that doesn't impact me.
Nate would be Nathan Weikers, the sports information director for Arizona men's basketball. Can you imagine Nate going into the office for a meeting with Tommy and saying, like, okay, Tommy, so Jaden needs 3 assists to get to 1,000 on his career. Toby needs 4 rebounds to be the best offensive rebounder in the country. We need 1 more win to match the all-time longest winning streak to start a season in program history.
No, I think there's the two worlds colliding because press clearly need headlines to draw attention.
We need headlines. It's all about the headline.
Got to have the headline, got to have the soundbite.
People got mad at me one time when I said that.
Coach Lloyd, consistently since he stepped on campus, has always been a next game kind of guy. He's always got that mentality of getting ready for the next opponent. And so it's one of those deals where how do you ask a player in the midst of breaking some kind of record, DK, in a season to reflect on how their position in the history, in the all-time stories of the game itself? Well, I'm sure 25 years from now, Coach Lloyd will have a lot of stories to tell about that magical 25-26 season and all the players along the way, because obviously they'll all have gone on to become, contributing adults to society by that point. Right now, in the middle of it, again, it's ASU Saturday. And he's going to give you that same answer every time, because what's he supposed to be focused on? What the plaque's going to say when this Arizona team is put up in the Hall of Honor? It's still right in the middle of it, and he's always going to give you that same answer. It's up to us, DK, to talk about where they stand and all that other nonsense, and Coach has better things to do.
520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in today. 520-848-1290. You can hear more from Tommy Lloyd. We got the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show coming up for you at the top of the hour, 6:05, live from the Union Public House with Brian Jeffries. So you'll hear much more from the coach there. All right, I've been negligent in paying my bills here today, so let me get this into you before we get to our Casino del Sol replay. It is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. And what do I normally have for you on Fridays? How about a sweet deal? Okay, I've got a sweet deal for you tomorrow. Second time we've done this sweet deal, so plenty of these still available. Clearly, a 1 3-day pass, a 1 3-day VIP pass, not just a pass, but a VIP pass to the Cochise Country Music Festival. Coming up March 20th through the 22nd out at the Forever Ranch in Benson. Now, normally this would cost you dang near $600. That's basically about what, $200 a day, if my U-High math is correct. $200 a day. Okay, well, we're giving it to you for $289.50. A 3-day VIP pass. And when I'm talking VIP, I'm talking tented lounge right to the left of the stage. I'm talking best views in the house. I'm talking buffet dinner each night. 3 nights, 3 buffet dinners. Complimentary drinks. Are you kidding me? Snacks. But even more importantly, when you go to a festival or when you go to New Year's Eve down on Times Square, there's nothing better than a VIP private restroom. That's what this is all about. A sweet deal. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., WildcatsRadio1290.com. Cochise Country Music Festival. Biggest country party of the year here in Southern Arizona at the Forever Ranch in Benson. Tracy Bird is going to be there. Mark Chestnut is going to be there. Rodney Atkins, Chris Cagle, Little Texas. Don't leave the ladies out. Kelsey Hart and Emily Ann Roberts are going to be performing too. Kids 10 and under, you can get them in for free. How about that? 3 days of nonstop music, 2 stages, dance floors, after parties, private restrooms, RV camping, tented camping available, private restrooms. You get to meet Shannon and Pork Chop. I don't know if Max is going to be down there. Maybe Bobby will be down there. All our great personalities from Kim FM. Private restrooms. Did you hear the part about the private restrooms? Sweet deal. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. WildcatsRadio1290.com. A 3-day VIP pass to the Cochise Country Music Festival. If you want more information, head over to Cochise.countryfest.com. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Tim Healy is the voice of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Joined us for the first time on DK on the Sports Tip today as we get you set for the Wildcats and the Devil People. Saturday afternoon down in Tempe, noon start time. And I asked Mr. Healy about this team and the fact that just a few weeks ago, Bobby Hurley went on a little bit of a rant after they lost to West Virginia about how he had felt like he lost the team. Nobody was listening to him. I might let you hear that again here shortly after the end of this. But he was really upset. He was really upset about the state of his club after a blowout loss at Houston and a loss at West Virginia. Let's hear from Tim Healy on how the Sun Devils are trying to survive through this season.
Well, I think everyone was talking about how discouraged he sounded, but my honest opinion is I kind of think there was a slight little bit of method to the madness, and I think he was basically trying to get the attention of his players. And, and coaches down through the years have done that a lot of ways. A lot of coaches have used the press, the media as a tool through which they communicate their discontent with the way their team is playing. And I kind of think it was a effort on his part to just get the ear of his players, and I think message received because they came right back 3 days later and posted a solid win at home Saturday night over a good Cincinnati team. And as I said, UCF to me is kind of a sleeper team in this league. You know, the Big 12, you got I think the 5 teams at the top. Arizona, BYU, Houston, Iowa State and Texas Tech. And then I think just below that plateau is UCF. And the Sun Devils went on the road and played well and almost won that game. So, they've played much better in the 2 games that have transpired since Coach Hurley's post-game comments last Wednesday night. And he really did sound extremely discouraged about the state of things and the way his club played. And keep in mind that the game that preceded that home loss was that blowout loss to Houston that I referenced. So it had been a couple of tough games. And ASU actually played well in the first half of their game against West Virginia. And then I think they had an 8-point lead with, a few minutes to go in the first half. but the Mountaineers cut the gap, I think, to 2 at the half, and then just dominated in the second half. And their three-point shooting was a big factor in that game. So that's another thing about three-point shooting. Not only of the Sun Devils did they go through that 5-game stretch where they weren't good at it, but their opponents have hit at a high clip this year. I think ASU is next to last in the Big 12 in three-point defense. Their opponents are hitting about 35%, and it just seems like game in and game out, when opponents get wide open looks from beyond the arc, they seldom miss. So just kind of one of those things.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Great to get a chance to chat with the voice of the ASU Sun Devils, Tim Healy. We've got some great play-by-play men in this state with Tim Healy, Brian Jeffries, and all the great voices up in the Phoenix area. Obviously, Greg Schulte, long time. Diamondbacks announcer retired. The great late Al McCoy with the Suns. Dave Pash, who calls the Cardinals games. Play-by-play is handled here in the state of Arizona for sure. Before we get out of here, I want to send a shout-out up to West Anklam Road. Isaac Johnson from the Pima College men's basketball team, ACCAC Division II Player of the Week. Isaac was sophomore guard forward for Brian Peabody's undefeated team. Averaged 15 points and 10 rebounds in wins over Chandler Gilbert and South Mountain last week. So shout out. They'll be on the road. The fellows will be this week to Mesa. So good luck to the Aztecs. All right, that's going to wrap up our show. Coming up next, Tommy Lloyd Radio Show live from the Union Public House with Brian Jeffries. So head on up there if you're in the area. It's still time to get over there for that. For cricket, for J-Dub, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow again. DK on the Sports Tip, 3 o'clock right here. You are listening to Wildcats Radio, 1290.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Westbound I-10 approaching Congress, earlier crash there. Still some slowing from the northbound I-19 merge onto westbound I-10. Some backups at the I-10 Star Pass 22nd Street off-ramps. Crash reported in the foothills on River Road near Via Entrada. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Nothing brings friends and family together on game day like delicious King's Hawaiian Sliders. Bring them to the big game table and be the real MVP. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your local store. Football and King's Irresistible Hawaiian Sliders. There's nothing like it.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We're here at a local Tucson tobacco store where evil high tobacco prices have gone up yet again.
Look, up in the sky.
I'm Captain Tobacco, here to fight evil high tobacco prices.
My hero.
Remember, citizens, save up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products at Tobacco Barn.
Look at those muscles.
Stand back while I hang 5 on these evil high prices.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation. And save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
He did it!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Hooray! My hero.
Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
Tell them Captain Tobacco sent you.
Oh, brother.
Clicks don't show the full picture, but Cumulus Digital does. We show you exactly who saw your ad by name and address, and our campaigns beat industry benchmarks by over 25%. Visit cumulusdigital.com today to start outperforming.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center.
Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
Tune in January 31st as your top-ranked Arizona Wildcats travel up to Tempe to take on that school up north.
He's triple team, put up the shot, and he's fouled.
Pregame starts at 8:30 a.m. and tip-off is scheduled for noon on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Family outgrowing your car? Hughes Federal Credit Union can help you get the car you want and the rate you need. Hughes is one of the only financial institutions in the country that doesn't switch loan rates based on a qualified buyer's credit score. That means you get our one-rate guarantee regardless of your credit score. We promise. When it's time for your next new or used car, Hughes is here to take you further. Check out our low rates on hughesfcu.org/auto and apply today. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
This is University of Arizona Wildcat Basketball, and this is the Tommy Lloyd Radio Show, presented by West Coast Trial Lawyers. Each week, the Wildcats